Good evening, everybody, and welcome to F1 Tonight UK. And joining me in the commentary box this evening is my good friend and esteemed commentary colleague, Guido. Good evening, Guido.
Good evening.
How are you this evening, sir?
Fine, fine.
Good,
with all
good,
the
good.
Things going on in the world today.
Well, indeed.
Can't complain.
And a beautiful link there. Beautiful link, because I was actually going to open up with just saying to everyone, take care of yourselves. Take care of your nearest and dearest. If you can, help your neighbours that need help. Let's get some community spirit going. Don't forget, wash your hands on a regular basis, as we've seen in the real world F1 drivers sending out a lot of Instagrams and tweets with regards to making sure hygiene is high. Wash your hands regularly, 20 seconds minimum. Avoid contact with people. If you do feel ill, self-isolate for at least 14 days. And if you feel seriously ill, obviously do contact whoever your local health authority may be. But take care of yourselves and take care of everyone around you as well. And I'm sure we'll all get through this.
Well, there you go.
Okay, so with that over, championship standings, we are here in Baku, the fair city with the castle, as you can see in the background there. But what is happening with regards to our championship standings? Well, leading the way is Phil Harris on 76 championship points. He stays where he was. Second is his teammate, Lee Pratt, up one place from 3 to 2. Ferrari now holding 1 and 2 in the Drivers' Championships after 3 races. We are now at race 4. In third place is Dylan Platt for Red Bull. Fantastic result for him last week, and I'm sure he's very, very happy with getting on the podium. That pushes him up the standings 8 places. So Dylan Platt now in third. Fourth is Sean Street. He's come off badly. He's down 1 place to 4. Fifth is Ross Milburn for Racing Points. 6 is Matt Goodyear for Mercedes. 7 is Thomas Cook for Alfa Romeo. 8 is Jamie Good for Toro Rosso. 9 is Jake Sorrell for Racing Point. And 10 is Cameron Widdowson for Williams. 11, Chris Knight for Alfa Romeo. 12, Josh Diggles for Williams. 13, Ryan Doran for Haas. 14, Jack Wilson for Renault. 15, Tony Foster for McLaren. 16, Carl Jackson for Mercedes. 17, Callum White for Red Bull. 18, Ryan Lear for Haas. 19 is Adrian Rich for Renault. And 20 is the vacant seat of Gary McKenny for Toro Rosso, but that will be filled for next week at Spain. Guido, it's really hotting up in the Drivers' Championships after only 3 races, isn't it?
Yes, it is, but I have to say I'm having an issue here with technical difficulties, of course, as we have almost every week, the last few weeks. We're having a black screen, or with the F1 Tonight logo. So can we please look at that?
That is my fault. I do apologise.
Because the people were missing the greatness of your the way how you talk about the standings, but there were no standings.
Well, indeed, that is entirely my fault. I do apologise for that. So there we have it. There, that is. You should be looking at it now, so you can see it now as it is.
I'm having a little bit of delay, obviously, because YouTube has a little bit of a delay. I'm looking.
It's there, trust me.
I trust you.
Okay, so let's move on to the Constructors' Championship. So Ferrari leading the way on 108 championships points. Second is Racing Point on 38. Third is Red Bull on 31. Fourth is Alfa Romeo on 29. Fifth is McLaren on 27. 6 is Rocket Williams on 22. 6 is Mercedes, on 22. Then we have Toro Rosso in 7 on 16. Haas on 6 points. and landing 10 is Renault on 4 points. Ferrari obviously dominating already, as I said, after 3 races, not only with their drivers in 1, 2, and also Phil Harris on 76 points, almost twice as much as his next competitor. But look at this, 108 points combined that they've got there, and they're already steaming away, aren't they?
Yeah, they are steaming away. It's well, you thought that Red Bull was going to be up there a little bit more, but just Dylan Platt had a few times he was unlucky with his tire management there, or blowouts, and hit his front end. So he's pulling a bit back, but we're still very early in the season. Yep,
very true. We're only after 3 races, race 4 here at Baku. And it's going to be, I can guarantee from previous seasons, it's going to be a very, very interesting race. Let's have a look now at the track itself. So Baku City Circuit here in Azerbaijan, 20 corners. And we have 2 DRS points and obviously 3 sectors. But let's go through the actual circuit length. That's 3.373 miles. Total race length is 192.034 miles, which is right about standard, 192, and we're looking at 51 laps. Did have the longest straight in the calendar, now will be surpassed by Vietnam.
Yeah.
So, although we don't know whether we're going to race there in the real world, but let's see. Shame we don't have that map here on 2019, otherwise we'd love to do that race.
Yeah, we would. Because that's going to be, as you say, that's going to be the longest train in the calendar then. And it's going to be an awesome track to drive.
Definitely. Let's have a look at the sectors. So Sector 1 from the start finish takes us round all the right angle bends of that Sector 1. Leads us neatly just before we get into Turn 5 to Sector 2, which is through the Old City, the Castle section. And then Turn 16, we go downhill, starting the 3rd sector. And that is where we got that long straight. And it is going to be super, super fast and very dodgy. Watch those 18 and 19, well, 17, 18 and 19 on the cars, and also that castle section 8, 9, 10, 11. DRS points. First DRS point is just before we come into turn 2 is the detection. It activates on the exit of 2 down towards 3. Then we have the second DRS detection point. That's just before you hit turn 20. The speed trap is just after that. And the activation of that DRS is just as you're approaching towards the pit lane entrance, taking you down to that turn 1. Guido, 3 very different sectors requiring different technical abilities, not only from the driver, but from the car itself.
Yeah, it's the first few corners, as you said, there were 90-degree corners, and it's make or break. There's no room. If you tap it, you break it. That's basically what's going to happen, because it's a real tight circuit. If you make mistakes, the going up in the castle section. Well, that's when did we see that? 2 years ago, when Leclerc drove into the barrier there.
Yeah, and we saw it last year from our esteemed colleague Adrian Statsrich when he was racing in season 1 last season. And well, I won't spoil it for you. If you can catch the race on YouTube, it's interesting to say the least, and keep an eye on Adrian. Okay, so the guys are on track now. What I'm going to do is just switch over to the screen you were looking at so intently earlier whilst you heard my dulcet tones, while we just switch over to the live broadcast. And Guido, if you could run through the runners and riders, please.
Yeah, we have obviously Lee Pratt and Phil Harris in the Ferraris. They're standing on top in the championship right now. The Haas drivers, Ryan Leah and I always have to think.
Who are you thinking of?
I don't know. It's R and R. It's the same with Callum and with,
Ryan Leah.
Ryan Leah and Ryan Dorn?
That's it. That's the ones. You got it. You see, I told you could do it. What's the problem?
All right. All right, we have McLaren, Sean Street. He's got a warning. So he's just fine now, but...
well, we are on board at this moment in time. We are in Q1. We've got 3 retirements: Jake Sorrell, Josh Diggles and Sean Street. That is because they are serving penalties, and under the racing system that we have, unfortunately, we can't apply that, so they have to go out on track, disqualify themselves so that they ensure they will be starting at the back. So they got back start penalties, which they have taken, and they will be starting 14, 15 and 16. We may have a late arrival of Thomas Cook for Alfa Romeo, and he would then assume P17. We are in Q1, just over 10 minutes remaining. We are with Adrian Rich, and his best lap is, I believe, the one he's just actually, 140.445. He is on the softs. Tony Foster in the McLaren, he set a 142.96. Callum White in the Red Bull. Callum really looking to prove something in this race. Has not had the start to the season in the Red Bull that he was looking for, indeed wanted or needed, has he, Guido?
Sorry.
I was saying, Callum White, he hasn't really had the start to the season that he wanted, has he?
No, because we've seen him done incredible things with his cues, and he's been really fast. But it's somehow it just in the race it doesn't come, it doesn't work where it should work, and I have no idea where it comes from.
Yeah, it's really difficult. A 139.6 from Jack Wilson in the Renault. Dylan Platt has set a 139.5. And he's gone out on the hards. Not surprising there, is it really?
No, not at all. I don't think there's anything you can say about that. It's going to be the white walls anyway.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure he actually set that 139.5 on a set of softs, and he's just come out now on those. If you could just check that, I'd appreciate it. Ross Milburn.
It's the hards.
So he did set it on the hards, did he?
Yeah.
Oh wow, so 139.5 puts him P2 in his Q1 session. Ross Milburn, the only man that was fastest, with a 138.738, and that was on the softs. That's for Racing Point, Ross Milburn. So Dylan Platt clearly looking to see if he can try and actually beat that. And what can we say? I mean, Dylan, every race he's coming out on the hards. That is his preferred strategy, I think, everywhere if he can.
Yeah.
It's not, obviously in a sim race, we're never going to reach the giddy heights of real F1 technicalities, but from that point of view, even him in a sim situation going out and set of hards, it's not easy, is it, Guido?
It's not easy. It's obviously the compound that has the least grip. And the way he works around that, it's just incredible. He's always in the front of the pack, and but the scoring hasn't been there the way he would want it because of little incidents, little wind.
Yeah, Australia, Bahrain didn't go the way. I mean, last week in China, much better result. Obviously, getting on the podium for Dylan. So I mean, that made a hell of a lot of difference for him, I think.
Yeah, well, they had an awesome racing there, so, and that's they were very close, and that's why they touched a little bit, and that's where he lost his end plate. And you can see just a little tap, and it just cost you seconds after that.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's it. It does cost you so much time. We are on board at the moment with Chris Knight for Alfa Romeo, and I think Chris is pretty much enjoying his season so far. He's not doing too bad in the standings. He's currently where are we? Oh God, got the wrong standings there. Let's have a look. Chris Knight. He is P12, I think he is. Confirm that if you can, because I've got so many lists currently in front of me at this moment in time.
I know what you mean.
My God, it's just like, it's like Adrian Stats Rich. I am not kidding when I say Adrian Stats Rich. Trust me, because he has sent me a whole file on the drivers, and
I'm trying to work my way around these things because
it's their predictions. I've got to say, So I've eventually got to Chris Knight, debuted last season at USA, and no poles, and he's got one podium, 39 points, 2 DNFs, and Adrian's predicting that his current season standing is going to improve, although he's 13 at this moment in time. So he's predicting that he should qualify 6th and finish in 5th. So Adrian Stacks Rich giving us that prediction there for the Alfa Romeo driver here of Chris Knight. Only time will tell. He's currently in P8 in this Q1 session. He has gone on to the hard tyres as well, as had a number of other drivers. Lee Pratt, he's currently in the pits, obviously didn't like that too much, did a 141.0. So they're trying to, I think, see if they can get to, ooh, dear me, just on board with Phil Harris going round turn 1, nearly putting it into the barrier there. He's also gone on a set of
retired
hards.
in the castle part. I just saw that. Yeah,
so that's Ryan Doran. Just trying to see. Phil Harris actually should be approaching him fairly soon. Just coming through the end, or towards the end of sector 1 now. Just that final chicane. I would think that Ryan Doran's car has probably already been moved. But we'll see as we approach that. So coming now into sector 2, through the Old Town Castle section. So tricky, these turns here. 7, and then 8, 9, 10, 11. Watch your exit on there. Get in tight on the left-hand side. Run it out right. Keep there. Lay down the power. Nicely done there by Phil. Got to say, this is the one you've got to watch those. You come down towards 16. Brake. Turn. Oh, missed that barrier there. Good shot. And coming round now. And he's done a purple in the middle sector. Oh, went a bit wide there.
Went a bit wide, yeah.
Out of 17. Let's see what he can do now in that 3rd and final sector. And we were commenting earlier on between ourselves, Guido, that if you get any damage on your front wing, even an end plate, through that castle section, and then you're coming through that 3rd sector, through the turns, already sets a 140.113. So 6/10 of Dylan Platt's time on the hard, so very respectable indeed. Not don't usually see Phil on those, but I guess for this track, it's probably not going to be a bad shout to see how these hards are going to work, because this really does give you some tyre wear, doesn't it?
Yeah. But they obviously made a selection of the harder compounds, the medium compounds, and the softer compounds. You can. For everybody out there, you can choose that when you start the race, and that gives you an extra set of harder tires or medium tires, or what I just said. So it could be in Q1 these tires are going to be lost anyway. They're going to drive around with the tire they want to lose, and they don't really need. So that's probably why they're driving on the wide tires. Maybe get a strategy going on with the medium and softs. Or
I mean, obviously, Guido, you got your race coming up on Thursday. Without giving too much away, I mean, what do you think is going to be your strategy for this race? And bearing in mind, obviously, you have raced it before as well.
Yes, I've raced this already many times before, and it has been carnage before. But I don't think my teammate wants me to tell him what the strategy is.
Seriously? Oh, okay, all right. Seriously?
No,
you're doing that to me? You don't do that to me. That's not
okay. I'm gonna give you this one. I think I'm gonna drive on the white tires as well.
Okay. So obviously hard compound type. For those of you that may not necessarily be familiar, obviously Guido was talking a little bit there about the tyres and talking that, and it's exactly as he was saying. It's all down to the compound of the tyre, and the softer the compound, the better the traction, the faster you go. So the red compound being the softest, the yellow compound being the medium, and the hard white wall compound being the hardest. So white for hard, yellow for medium, red for soft. So when you see that up there on the board, that is what you are looking at. And you'll see when we get to Q3, the majority of the drive, well, all the drivers I would expect, will be on the soft tyre because they've got through to the top or the Q3 to decide the top 10, and they're all going to be looking to go as fast as they possibly can to obviously get that pole position. So they will all be on reds. Q2, which is the next session we've got coming up, that will be somewhat different though, won't it, Guido? Because in Q2 you're showing your hand a bit with your tyre selection as to what you qualify on, aren't you?
It's basically what you want to start on the tyres. So this you're gonna start either with a fast stint or with a longer stint, so you can base your strategy on your on your plays in the pit. If you got the harder compound like Dylan usually has when he starts, you can go on longer in the beginning.
Yeah, and that's basically.
And it all depends on how long you drive with it. That makes your makes the choice if you get the other tires going. It's just, you know, you can do only so much as start the strategy or think about the strategy in the beginning. Because if you get a safety car, if you get different weather, if you know, there's all kinds of elements there that can change up your strategy.
Indeed, it can. So as we see here, so we've got Josh Diggle, Sean Street, and Jake Sorrell. Adrian Rich will be in the next queue, as will be Callum White, Ryan Lear, Jamie Good, Cameron Widdowson, Chris Knight, Lee Pratt, Ryan Doran, Tony Foster, Phil Harris, Jack Wilson, Dylan Platt, and Ross Milburn. So there will be 13 drivers going through into the Q2 session. Normally there would be 15 drivers, but obviously as we've got a field of 16, possibly 17, and 3 had those penalties to serve, that is why we are down to that number there. And in this Q2 session, what are we looking for? Well, we are looking for the 10 fastest drivers. They will go through to the Q3 session. Oh, actually, no, we have lost Adrian as well. Sorry, I do apologise. They were out. So Adrian Rich will be starting, I believe, in P13. I'm not too sure who there was in P12, but we'll have a look at that once we actually get to the start itself. So we've actually only got 11 drivers in this qualification session, so we will be dropping 1 driver. So I don't know, it doesn't necessarily make it any easier, but as I said, this is where the guys really going to show a bit of their hand, because the tyre that they qualify on to get into that top 10 will be the tyre that they will have to start the race on. So you're getting a little bit of strat away here on this one. You can see already a bit of a mix there. Let's see who we've got. I think it's
the Haas.
I think it's Tony
Foster.
Foster.
Is out first. Ryan Doran is out first, yeah.
Okay, so Ryan Doran is leading
McLaren
the pack.
already hit the wall.
And that was Tony Foster.
There you go.
So Ryan Doran we are on board with at this moment in time. He is leading the pack out of the pits. Just under 14 minutes remaining of this Q2 session, so only just got started. We'll see the drivers go out, put in a couple of fast laps. Depending on how that goes, they should come back into the pits then, and then it will either become a waiting game or a desperation game. But as I say, we've got 11 riders, but it's still going to be tough. I think it's going to be that... Ryan Doran, I don't know, but I think he did actually clip.
I think so too.
Into turn 8, not too sure. Soon have a look, see if I can see the front of his car. No, front wing is intact, so he is okay. I think he missed that not just by a gnat's whisker, but by a very small gnat with very short whiskers.
Alright, he's warming it up. He's weaving the tires a bit.
I think that's Tony Foster behind him, isn't it? Yes, it is.
That's very close. He's going to try and get a
I think he's going to try and get a toe on him, actually. Just go on board with Tony Foster now. Let's see how he looks round at 20. Yeah, a little bit of a toe there. So Ryan Doran starting his fast lap, as is Tony Foster in the McLaren. That was Ryan Doran that went into the wall there.
Yeah. Tires were not warm enough, obviously.
Obviously not.
Way too late.
He braked way too late, and he's got issues there trying to get back on the track now. Oh dear, this is not fun. And we see real-world drivers doing exactly the same here. Good job you got the run-off there at turn 2. But yeah, he's not having fun. I mean, this is pure frustration now that is going to be gripping him. I'll put him out of his misery on the street.
Mind you, if he hits that barrier again, he's got to break off his wing.
Yeah, he probably would. Tony Foster is just approaching turn 7 now into the Old Town Castle section. The Old Town Road. Through 8, 9, 10. Oh, I mean, every time a driver goes through there, it's going to be an wicked
moment,
isn't it? Really?
Yeah, I love that piece. That's great. It's just so tight and so unnatural between the building.
I've got to say, my least favourite corner is this one coming up here now, turn 16. I just, that is my least favourite corner on this track.
He's backing off.
He's backing off.
Yeah, obviously.
Has he let Dylan through?
No.
I think he has.
No, the thing is,
yeah, he has.
With that,
Dylan's on
the second
purple
corner incident, he didn't start his fast lap.
Oh yeah, that's true enough. Yeah, that incident. Dylan Platt on a fast lap coming through now. So he'll be the first man to set a time. Let's see what he does.
Yeah, there's only one that's going to fall out here.
Yeah. So Dylan sets a 1:39.6, followed by Tony Foster. As we know, he obviously wasn't setting a fast lap. 1:47. I think it's the Williams. Where are we? Cameron Widdowson. No, it's not Cameron Widdowson. Tony Foster. Chris Knight. Yeah, Chris Knight sets a 1:40.7. And that was on the hard compound tyre as well. Interesting. We've got Ryan Lear.
40.8.
He's set a 1:40.8.
So there's the question, what are they doing? Are they sparing their tires?
Well, I don't know. We've got 10 minutes to go, Guido. So, I mean, I think Dylan and Chris Knight, Ross Milburn, Phil Harris, etc. They're going to give it a go and see what they come up with. Ryan Doran deciding to quit out that lap, come into the pits. Let's see who's next behind him.
Is Phil Harris on the fast lap? Oh,
trying to get through to who it is.
Phil Harris in the Ferreira.
Yeah, Phil Harris. That's Phil Harris just coming round 17, 18. This third and final fast sector here. Around the final turn 20. And it's looking good, I've got to say. It is his outlap, obviously.
It is his outlap, yeah.
It is his outlap, but he's showing some really good speed through that third sector.
Oh, he's got a lot of grip.
He's got a lot of grip, yeah. It's looking pretty good.
There's no slipping and sliding as he hits the accelerator.
And bearing in mind, as you say, he is on those hard compound tyres. Obviously, we have seen Dylan set at 1:39.6, Chris Knight at 1:40.7. I would expect Phil to be in that ballpark, certainly. But he's really putting it together, I've got to say. This is looking a very, very sweet lap. Let's see what his first sector... Yeah, look at that. Purple in the first sector. Let's see if he can maintain that through. Tight and precise. It's really looking good. Knows where obviously he can ride the curbs, etc. Let's go on board through this castle section here.
Nice. Nice and smooth.
It is very smooth. This is a very fast time. I'd expect him to get another purple in this second sector, actually. Let's have a look now. We'll soon have that result come up. He's just into turn 16. Lee Pratt, in the meantime, setting fastest time with a 1:39.3. Doesn't do a purple. Let's see this third sector. This is fast. This is really fast. This is looking a good time. 1:35, 1:30. It's going to be 1:39 something. Oh no! 141.4. Wow, where did he lose that? I mean, is that the downforce that he's got? He's losing it on the straight, Guido.
Yeah, it could be. It could be a thing of having a lot of downforce in the corners, and that's why he's probably driving so tight. Because you don't see any wheel spin when he's accelerating out of the corners.
I mean, yeah, but I mean, you know, here, I understand, obviously, certainly through the castle section, you know, he's going to lose a hell of a lot of time on that back straight. I mean, that back straight is a third. That sector 3, that fast sector is a third distance-wise of the lap.
Yeah, but then again, when you
actually over that, I think it is.
If you calculate that you're gonna lose a lot of grip on your tires, everything's gonna be a lot more dodgier when you're getting lighter and when you're just, you know, having not so much grip to play with. Yeah. And having a lot more grip will help you probably when you lose a lot of tires. A lot of grip from your tires.
Sorry, Guido, I'm just going to go on board with Jamie Good. He's just about to set a fast lap. Let's see what he can do. It's not looking too shabby, got to say. It's a 141.0. So that puts him into P6. Sorry, Guido. Yeah, you were saying.
No, I was saying that it might work out in the end when you get worse wear on your tires. You get more downforce, so you still have more grip than the other guys. When they lose, when they lose grip, when the wings are lower, downforce is lower. It will get especially with these corners, it will get a bit dodgier with these fast corners.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. I appreciate that, but I don't know. I just think, you know, you'll be faster through. I don't know if you'll necessarily be faster. You should be, obviously, through that second sector, and that is. You gained it on the first sector, so first and second sector, but I think you just potentially lose too much on that third sector, and especially on that DRS, because you are going to be so susceptible to overtakes.
Yeah, sure.
And you know, and if your downforce is dialed up too high, oh dear me, Ryan Doran setting a purple in the third sector there, actually pushes him up into third place, a 140.0. He is on the soft compound tyres, but yeah, good run from him. Just under 5 minutes remaining, as I expected. A lot of the drivers in the pits. Jamie Good still out. Phil Harris is still out. Cameron Widdowson in the Williams still to set a time, as Jack Wilson also is. He's in the pits. We'll go on board with Cameron Widdowson. He is now on his fast lap, just coming through the castle section.
Oh, wide.
Oh, that was round 13 into 14.
Oh, Dylan Platt just set a
15.
Fastest time.
Down to 16. Dylan Platts, it's a 138.1 on the medium. So Dylan coming off the hard, going onto the medium. And, he's going to be starting the race on that. 138.111. Obviously, Lee Pratt getting that little bit too close, so maybe on that medium. So he needs to ensure that he's on that front row. Williams coming over now. This is looking not. This is going to be about a 140, I think, actually. 140.6. Good run there from Cameron Widdowson in the Williams. Good. Very good run. Puts him up into provisionally P4 in this Q2 session. And Ryan Leah, Jamie Good, Tony Foster, Phil Harris still in the pits. Jack Wilson is now on his outlap in the Renault. He has opted for the medium compound tyre. Jack Wilson, teammate to Thursday night commentator Adrian Stats Rich. Gotta love that. But quite an accomplished driver himself. Again, not really quite having the season so far, Renault. They haven't been able to really get things together, I think, so far this season. But Jack, well, his debut race was in season 1 in Spain. His last race was obviously in China. He's had 1 podium, 1 driver of the day, 8 DNFs. Fiery rivalry with Sean Street I've got here. Season 1 position was 14th. Season 2 objective is going to be 10 overall. So he is currently in 8th. So carrying synopsis, carrying Renault at the moment on a whooping 4 points. Must remain focused to score well tonight. So that's Renault, Team Renault. They are looking to focus this evening so that they can look and get some points in. Jack Wilson on a fast lap now. Let's see what he can do. Just coming to the end of Sector 1. We've got just under 2 minutes remaining. Jack Wilson is the man currently in the drop zone as he has not set a time. He needs to beat a 1:41.4 from Phil Harris. Got to say, a bit surprised to see Phil Harris in P10 at this moment in time in this Q session.
Yeah, I don't know where he lost that. Was it deliberate? Is he just taking his time to let those tires live? Excuse me.
Not too sure.
I don't know.
Not too sure. Not too sure. So it'll be interesting, obviously, to keep an eye on that and see how it goes. Jack Wilson is the man that is looking to try and beat that time at this moment in time, so to speak. Just coming round turn 16, 17, down into 18 and 19, and around the final turn 20. Onto the start finish straight. It's looking a respectable time. I think it's going to be high 140s, low 141s.
141,
141.1. So 141 he does, in fact, beat Tony Foster and Phil Harris, pushing Phil Harris into the drop zone. Phil Harris currently on track at this moment in time. He is on his out lap. Let's join him on board for his fast lap. So into turn 1, watch the exit on the right hand side. Power down as you come down towards turn 2. You want to go in tight on this corner on the left. Watch your exit, watch the board, line up, get the DRS down. Got to be careful as you lay down that power. Try and keep the straight line. The track itself sort of slightly corners down now, hard braking, right on the apex, ride it out. Now you're coming down into this right hander. Again, watch your exit, go over to the right hand side of the track now as you're coming down towards turn 5, 6. Nicely done, watch the exit, get it lined up, lay down the power, out of sector 1 into sector 2, into turn 7 now, hard right, into the Old Town section, coming up to the Castle section, hard left uphill, 8, 9, 10, 11. Watch your exit, going tight on the left hand side, exit wide on the right. Nicely done out of 12 there, into 13, really laying down the power, 14, then into hard turn, downhill, 15, watch your braking, watch the right hand side, accelerate down now, out of sector 2, into the third and final sector, turn 16, watch your exit, line up, this is where you're lining up now, into turns 18, 19, round the final turn 20, onto that start finish straight. This is looking a good time.
P3?
I think it's probably going to be around about 6. Oh no, 3, you're right, well done. P3, 139.3 from Phil Harris. Purple in that final sector. Okay, that's interesting. Has he dialed it back up, I wonder? Has he, he's made a change to that front wing. He can amend the front wing. It is a faster tyre. Yeah, that is true, actually. Yeah, it is a faster tyre. Yeah, sorry, yeah. Not that much faster, though. I don't know. Medium. I think he's dialed up that front wing a bit, you know. I think he's opened it up a bit.
Yeah,
so, can adjust that, obviously. You can't adjust all the settings, but you can adjust your front wing. You can adjust your brake balance, etc., but that's about it. So that is our Q2 session done. And in the drop zone, oh no, Tony Foster for McLaren with a 141.1. Jack Wilson just got through in P10, 141.104. 4 thousandths of a second between him and Tony Foster, Guido.
Yeah, great. This is awesome, you know. Oh.
So there we have it. Dylan Platt, 138.111 on the mediums. He'll be starting on the mediums. Lee Pratt also starting on the mediums. Phil Harris, Ross Milburn, Chris Knight, Ryan Lear, Jamie Good, Jack Wilson and Tony Foster. Obviously, he will have a free tyre choice. Starting on the softs will be Cameron Widdowson and Ryan Doran. So keep an eye on that, because that could well come into to play.
So what's it going to be then? What's it going to be?
Well, I don't know. I'll tell you what's going to be.
Who's your poll?
Oh, not yet. Not yet. Not yet. Surely. You're not going to ask me that,
Come on.
are you?
Yeah.
Seriously? I don't know. Who's my poll?
Well, that's easy. I don't know. No, I don't know as well. But
I'm just trying to think. It's going to be a tough one.
Because you haven't seen the strategy yet.
I'm going to go for Who am I going to go for? I'm going to go for Phil Harris for poll. Phil Harris for poll.
Yeah?
Phil Harris for poll. Yeah. Who are you going to go for? Come on, who are you going to go for? Tell me now.
I think it's going to be Dylan again.
You're going to go for Dylan. You're so predictable, Guido. So
yeah, I know,
predictable.
but it's well, we have to make a prediction somehow.
So it's the Toro Rosso that's actually ahead there. So that's Jamie Good. He is first man out on track. So Jamie Good leading the pack. He is followed by Phil Harris in that Ferrari. We are in the Q3 session, so 10 drivers now battling it out for grid position for the start of this race. They will all be gunning for that front row P1 position, but only one man will attain it. And Guido, you're going for Dylan?
Yeah, I'm gonna
go for Phil. And we'll have a little conflab towards the end of this queue as to who we think might actually take the win this evening. But that's not necessarily always a given. So, and actually, Jamie Good just letting Phil Harris through, actually. So, Phil Harris will be the first man to start an opening lap. Put in a lovely lap at the end of Q2.
Can you make another prediction for me?
Go on then.
How many drivers will they finish? Will be finishing tonight?
Yeah, that's that's a little bit more difficult. It doesn't bode well from previous seasons. Let's put it like that. We've got a field of I think 16 or 17. I would expect that to go sub 10.
Sub 10? Or
sub
did you
10.
say 10?
No, sub 10.
Sub 10, yeah, right. Okay.
Sub 10. If it's, I mean, don't get me wrong, it's not that I'm wishing it, it's not that I want it, but previous experience, this track is, I don't know what it is. I mean, I've often commented when we talk about the racing, you know, the rhythm of the track, the feel of the track, and how you get that rhythm going, yeah? With this track, I always try and picture what sort of music it might be, and for me, it's pretty hardcore heavy metal, because it's just this track is relentless. Three sectors, three very different sectors, I think, really as well, that demand an awful lot of different things from the driver. And you know, Monaco is unforgiving, but I think Baku is equally as unforgiving. I don't know what your thoughts are on that, Guido.
Yeah, it totally is, because it's not as tight as Monaco, and not as, obviously you don't have those S's in there, but it is because it's such a fast track in the third sector.
Purple sector 2 as well, but hardly surprising first man on track. Sorry, yeah, carry on.
No, but if you just make the slightest miscalculation there, you will lose the car and hit the barrier, and that's, it doesn't give way. It just doesn't.
I mean, the way I look at this track, it's like a perverse amalgamation of Monaco and Singapore.
Oh yeah. Singapore.
Oh, look at that. Phil Harris sets a 1:37.7. Ross Milburn 138.3. Jamie Good 139.9. Ross Milburn, though, has jumped up 138.3. Ryan Lear 139.3. Jamie Good, as I said, 139.9. Ryan Doran 141.6. So opening laps from these drivers, as I said, they are all on the soft compound tyre, as you can see there. So no great shakes on that. But Dylan, opening lap, 137.1. 6/10 faster than Phil Harris. That's a great opening lap.
Yeah, I can't say anything about that. That's incredible. That's an incredible fast lap.
I mean, Guido, we're just in this queue. We've still got 3/4 of the queue remaining. 137.1 set by Dylan as an opener. Are we going to see a 136? I mean, it looks very much to me like we will.
It's possible, yeah. If you see these times, it's the opening lap. They surely can go faster.
Yeah.
It's just incredible timing what we see here.
Yeah, I mean, they will definitely go faster. So it's going to be very interesting to see what happens on that. I mean, Dylan is still going for it in a major way.
Yeah, it's Lee Pratt has
yellow,
probably here.
Sector 2. We've got a yellow in Sector 2. Don't know who that was.
Could be somebody letting somebody pass.
Yeah, that's true.
But Lee Pratt has hit, probably made some damage by that. He hit.
Yeah, Dylan Platt slowed right down. Phil Harris is just going round the third and final sector now. And he's slowed right. Everyone's slowing right down. So too sure what's going on there. Chris Knight coming through. See if he can better his time. He's coming through. Let's see what he does. 138.9 to beat. Doesn't do it. So first round, Lee Pratt hasn't actually set a time as yet. He is in the pits. Ryan Doran for Haas has set a 141.6. Cameron Widdowson still out on track. He set a 140.7. Jamie Good 139.9. Jack Wilson for Renault 139.6. Ryan Lear for Haas 139.3. Chris Knight for Alfa Romeo 138.9. Ross Milburn for Racing Point 138.3. Phil Harris, as we saw, 137.7, and Dylan Platt with that 137.1. Everyone in the pits apart from Chris Knight and Cameron Widdowson. He's coming in now.
So what are the weather guys are doing? I haven't seen that.
No idea. I guess we could find out.
Anybody out there, could you text us? What are they going to do? Is it going to rain?
Well, I know who's watching this, so they should have spare time in their hand to tell me.
Sander.
Oh, he's put it on Do Not Disturb. Oh, excellent. Thanks a lot. So they got on Do Not Disturb there. Adrian, could you do that? Oh, no. He's turned it off now. Yes, really. That's okay then. So Chris Knight, we're on board with at this moment in time, trying to see if he can better that 138.9. He is currently second row, P4. But as I said, everyone wants to get on that front row. He's not going to do it. He's into the pits. Now that was what you call a fast entry.
That's ballsy.
Oh, he crashed. Adrian just telling me he actually crashed in Q1, which is why he was out. So clearly there were some drivers that did have collisions. Okay, TMI, Mr. Stats, TMI. So there we have it. They're all in the pits now, apart from Ryan Doran and Lee Pratt. Now this is important for Lee Pratt because he needs to get a good time. He needs to get up that grid. He needs to maintain this momentum that Ferrari have got at the moment, and him as well, because he's currently second in the Drivers' Championship. So important for him to look to maintain that, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh, here we go. He's going on. Lee Pratt's kicking it.
Well, he's as I say, he's currently second, but Dylan Platt is only 2 points behind him as it stands at this moment in time.
I just wonder, you know, it's always at the last races we've watched, the standings and their fighting. They've been close, and it just happens in the end of the race.
Yeah.
And you just keep on fighting, and that was so awesome in China. And it was too bad that they hit, but obviously there was real fair racing going on. They switched between each other, and that's really what you want to see in this.
Well, you know, I'll touch on that. Obviously, we've seen over the weekend, unfortunately, with this coronavirus pandemic, that we've seen the F1, the real world F1 cancelled this weekend. I was so... Oh, dear. Yeah, sorry. That was a little bit...
I'll make the noises. You talk, I'll make the noises.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, we've seen over the weekend, obviously, the cancellation of the Australian Grand Prix. But I've been very warm. You know, my heart has been warmed by the interaction of a number of drivers and actually doing some sim racing. And I was watching Lando Norris Sunday evening. Oh, good time there from Lee Pratt in the middle sector. Let's see what he can do in the third and final sector. Yeah, I was quite warmed by Mr. Lando Norris and his interaction with Veloz Esports, very well recognised esports league brand, if you like, within the esports community. Obviously, F1 tonight, we like to think of ourselves as e-motorsports, so that we've got that better definition. But yeah, it was great to see. And you know, is this something that maybe will grow as time goes on, and especially with the current coronavirus? I mean, you know, I've been trying to promote this as the F1 fix for those devoted F1 fans, and if they, you know, take away, I think, some of the prejudice that may exist out there, because Lando Norris actually came 9th in that race. You know, this is a professional F1 driver. Not to say that this is anything like F1. It's as close as you can probably get in your front room, let's put it like that. So, and it is very competitive. I mean, you know, we do see some fast times, we do see some skilled driving from these guys, don't we, Guido? I mean, it may be virtual, but it doesn't make it any more or less real when you're watching it.
No, and some people really have great expensive rigs, and they drive with every assist off.
Sorry, I'm just going to try and watch Phil Harris to see if he can try. He didn't better the time for Dylan Platt. He has got one more shot. 10 seconds remaining for those drivers coming round. Ross Milburn will not make it. Lee Pratt will not make it. Chris Knight will not make it. Ryan Doran won't. Ryan Lear won't. Jack Wilson won't. Jamie Good won't. And Cameron Widdowson won't. So the last man on track to set the last lap is going to be Phil Harris. So we're going to see these times coming in thick and fast. Obviously, all drivers are currently out on track. They are doing their final lap, so they will be going all guns blazing. Phil Harris, last man to cross the line, last man with an opportunity. Not that I got any vested interest in this, Guido, but you called the current poll with Dylan Platt. I called Phil Harris. He's currently sitting in second place, and he is really going for it. And it's tough because he's got a lot of cars out there. So not only is he set a fast lap,
better this time.
Dylan has been his time. He's done a 136.6. I said, would anyone break into the 136? Dylan has done it, a 136.6. Phil Harris needs to take out a full 1.1.
Yeah, he's going to get a tow.
Seconds.
He's going to get a tow.
He has got a tow. Who is that ahead of him? Is that the
Ryan Lear?
Ryan Lear. So it's his teammate. So his teammate. No, it's not his teammate. It is the Haas. Albeit it's got a Ferrari engine in it. He is getting a tow from him. Is he going to beat it? Is he going to beat that 136.6 from Dylan Platt? No! No! 137.9. He does not beat his previous best. It is 137.7 that he goes through with, and he will be starting P2 in the front row alongside Dylan Platt. Row 2, P3, Chris Knight in the Alfa Romeo. Ross Milburn in the Racing Point will be alongside him in P4. Row 3, P5, Lee Pratt in the Ferrari. Alongside him will be Ryan Lear in the Haas. Row 4, P7, Ryan Doran in the Haas. Alongside him will be Jack Wilson in the Renault. And then P5 will be Jamie Good in P9. And who's going to be in P10? I don't know who that was at the end there, but we will run through that. That was pretty exciting at the end there, but Dylan Platt set it right at the end, beat that 137.1 with a 136.6, 5/10, half a second out of that previous best time. And there was just no way Phil Harris could respond. In that P10 position, as I said, row 5 will be the Williams of Cameron Widdowson. So Dylan Platt does indeed take the pole, but Guido.
Yeah.
Guido.
Yeah. Yeah.
Guido.
I still don't know what the weather guys are going to do.
Who's going to take the win? Come on. Who's going to take the win, Guido?
I'm going to go for Phil.
You're going to go for Phil? Okay. Let's do a swap then. You go for Phil for the win. I'll go for Dylan Platt.
All right.
Well, actually, I don't know. I don't know. Is that a good call or not?
It stands. It stands as it is. You just made the call. That was the call.
Oh, come on. You're telling me you're not going to give me backsies?
It's done now.
No backsies.
What's backsies?
I knew you were going to say that.
What's backsies? You're taking the
backsies.
Thing.
Backsies is an English term for when you take it back and do it again.
Ah.
Okay. So you're not going to give me backsies.
Well, go on.
You're going to give me backsies?
Go on, my son.
I'll stick to it. I'll stick to my guns. I'm going to go for Phil Harris for what? You don't think it's going to be Phil? Did I say Dylan Platt?
I said Phil Harris. Come on, get your head around it.
I'm going to go for Dylan for the win. I mean, Dylan, he hasn't had a great start to the season. He clawed it back last week in China with that podium finish, that P3 finish. So, I mean, he's done a great job, and I think he's going to be looking to prove himself here at Azerbaijan. And I don't know, but I just think, we saw how he was dominant in that qualifying. Obviously, race somewhat different, but he's got confidence around this track, and there's a plus and a minus to having confidence around this track. There's a plus that, you don't have that fear. The minus is that you can be a bit too confident, because as we were touching on earlier, one mistake, and I can think of a number of sort of sectors or sets of corners, if you're out by a fraction, it's going to really hurt as you get, a couple of corners further down.
Yeah.
And it is an unforgiving track. It really is. I mean, obviously, I'll go through it. I mean, we've got a bit of time, obviously. I think it's about 5 minutes before the drivers start. We will get a ready up once they do. But, turn 1, that hard left, it's the exit you've got to watch, because as you're coming down from that start-finish straight, you're carrying so much speed. It's as you sort of hit the apex and coming out the corner, you've really got to watch that right-hand side exit, haven't you?
Yes. Yes. Yeah, that goes for, especially in the first sector, it goes for every corner, but you have a runoff.
It does, but I've got to say, I mean, turn two isn't so bad. I mean, it's not great, but it's not so bad. To me, turn 3 and 4, pretty scary, particularly turn 3, because you're coming up close to those buildings, and you've got to go in really tight on the left-hand side as you hit that left-hand turn of turn 3. You've got to go in really, really tight, and then you've got to watch it as you come out the exit into 4. Then you've got to go in again tight on that right-hand corner, hit the apex, but as you come out off the left-hand side, watch your exit. You've got the chicane then of 5, 6. I've got to say, you're going to see, I suspect we're going to see people spinning out of 6.
Yeah, 5, 6 is also a difficult one, because you've got the outstanding curb on the right side.
And it can really throw the car out, can't it?
Sorry?
It can really throw the car out.
Yeah. If you clip that, your car will bounce a bit, and it tends to bounce to the left side, and then you hit the barrier there. So it is a really tricky curb to go over. Yeah. You really want to avoid that one.
Obviously, turn 7, I mean, pretty straightforward. You can cut that, ride that corner on the right-hand side as you turn into that right-hander of 7. But then you've got the castle section, 8, 9, 10, 11. And you're really flicking the wheel, aren't you? You're not steering the car. You're steering the car, you're not turning the car. if you see what I mean. You're just guiding it through, really.
Yeah.
The straightest course you
go
can.
a little bit right, a little bit left, a little bit right, a little bit left.
Yeah.
And you do hit the accelerator in the middle of that cornering. So as soon as you go up, you press the accelerator, and then you let it go when you go to the corner on the right. So when you go around, 11.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's it. I mean, as you're coming at that right hand of 11, you've got to be so careful as you lay down the power again there, because obviously your medium power, you don't want to plant straight away because your car will your tail will just spin out. You then got to go in tight on the left-hand side of turn 12 on the left-hand corner, and you've got to go out as wide as you can, almost kiss the barrier on the exit of 12, haven't you?
Almost kiss it.
Yeah. And then
look out that the
straighten up into 13. It doesn't.
Sorry?
I said it doesn't. I know what you're going to say, and it doesn't, but carry on.
Oh, okay, yeah. Okay, I'm not going to carry on because it doesn't.
All right, yeah, it doesn't. It is pretty, unforgiving. You got to accelerate, then straighten up.
Oh, do it again.
Excuse me, God. Into turn 13, and then you got to sort of flick it round 14. That turn 15, so hard, isn't it? So hard.
Yeah, that's also one of those crazy corners. You come out and you go to the left, and then you have to brake when the end of the corner goes to the right, and then you go to the left again. And there is a high curb on that left side.
So the guys
really
are now
breaking in.
It is. It's tough. It's just tough all round. Dylan Platt, they are on their processional lap. Dylan Platt leading the way, as we can see here. In second place. Oh, sorry. Actually, yeah, I'll go in reverse order. Might as well. It makes it easier. So we are starting at the back with Thomas Cook. He has jumped into a Mercedes, although he does normally run for Alfa Romeo. That's because he's running late. So Thomas Cook will be in 17. Sean Street will be starting in 16. These are guys that served penalties. Josh Diggles as well. He'll be starting in 15. 14 will be Jake Sorrell. On the track, 13, we have Adrian Stats Rich in the Renault. 12 will be Callum White in the Red Bull. Not really where he was looking to... Callum White, there you see, in the Red Bull. Not really where he wanted to be, but see what happens around that. Tony Foster in the McLaren is in 11. Cameron Widdowson in the Williams is in 10. 9 is Jamie Good, the Solo Toro Rosso. 9 is Jack Wilson in the Renault. 7 is Ryan Doran in the Haas. Ryan Lear, his teammate, is in 6. Lee Pratt for Ferrari is in 5. 4 is Ross Milburn for Racing Points, so that's row 2. Alongside him is going to be Chris Knight in the Sauber. Phil Harris in the Ferrari is going to be alongside Dylan. As I said, obviously Dylan Platt there in that Red Bull as they approach the start-finish line for the start of this Season 2 F1 tonight. UK. This is the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. Expect thrills, spills, and a whole lot more. Drivers now coming onto the grid, forming up. You can see the guys ghosted out there that were disqualified, taking up the rear of the grid. We are getting underway now for the start of this race. Cars are ready. The lights are coming on. And we are off for the start of this F1 one tonight. Season 2, race 4. Azerbaijan. Into the turn 1 goes Dylan Platt, Phil Harris, Ross Milburn, Chris Knight drops down 1, Ross Milburn up 1. Up 1 is Ryan Lear, Lee Pratt down 1, Ryan Doran stays where he is. Oh, look at this. Callum White really coming through there. And we've got in the background there, yeah, that's Jake Sorrell. Collision there with the Renault of Adrian Rich. Looks like Adrian Rich and Josh Diggles is already out. Josh Diggles, Adrian out on that turn 2. Jake Sorrell only just surviving. Contact there between the Williams and the Renault. So 2 drivers out on the start of this lap. Let's get back up to the front now. Dylan Platt leading away, yellow safety car. That's why they're going so slow. So we've got safety car already, Guido, in lap 1. I didn't see what happened there. Obviously, I don't know how to call this, but let us say that one of the cars involved, one of the drivers, is not unknown for being somewhat missile-like.
Oh, it's a torpedo you meant.
Yeah. Josh Torpedo Diggles. Do you think that may have been what happened there? No, all those names and beside, I didn't see what happened. So that's going to be coming back on the clips. Obviously it's not good. In the first and the second corner, these things are going to happen, but. It's just a waste. Well, on the opener, start of the lash, right, safety car, as I say, is out. Obviously, Dylan Platt will need to catch up with that. It will then need to do a circuit. So I suspect we're probably not going to get racing until end of lap 3 now.
Yeah, and then you got the restart on the start of the straight, just before that slow bend.
Well, let's run through where they sit and where they were. Dylan Platt obviously maintains position P1. Phil Harris stays in that P2 position. Ross Milburn is up 1 from 4. Chris Knight is down 1 from 3, so swap round there. Up 1 is Ryan Lee, up 2 is Jack Wilson. Up 5 though, Callum White in the Red Bull. I mean, he didn't qualify certainly where he wanted, as we said earlier, in that P12 position. Taken full advantage there, come through the field now, and this is what is needed by Team Red Bull, isn't it? I mean, they haven't really, first 2 races, as I said, Dylan Platt scored last week, but these guys, if they're going to challenge Ferrari, they really need to start pulling it out of the bag now, don't they?
Yeah, well, that's good, if Callum White gets into play there, and don't get me wrong, he is one of the guys that can get into play there. They will be accumulating good points there.
Yeah, absolutely. So he's in P7 as it stands at the moment. Up 1 is Jamie Good for Toro Rosso. Sean Street is up 7. Street starting at 16. Remember, serving that penalty for, basically DNFing himself last week in China. Coming back strong though, up 7 places to P9 already in that McLaren. Sean Street, not to be sniffed at, opening lap.
7 places, 2 DNFs, so that's 5 places he went up. Well, that's good. It's good. So where you want to start?
Yeah, that is very true indeed. So that's the McLaren there of Sean Street. Tony Foster, he's up 1 to 10. Up 6 is Thomas Cook as well. So Thomas Cook in the Mercedes. Again, Mercedes not had a great opening to the season. Oh, sorry, no, Thomas Cook, I've got to say, no, he's actually Alfa Romeo, so he's in a Mercedes at the moment. Going to be interesting to see how that plays out. 12 is Lee Pratt, definitely not where he wanted to be, down 7 places, the Ferrari of Lee Pratt. Jake Sorrell is up 1, down 2 is Ryan Doran, and down as well is Cameron Widdowson. So we are back with Dylan Platt, as I said, I suspected. Obviously they're still going around lap 3, so another full lap under the safety car. And the drivers now, what they've really got to watch is contact, isn't it? They want to keep the heat in the tyres, but equally they don't want to be going at the pace that safety car is. They need to be weaving, but you've got to be conscious of all the cars that are around you. Not uncommon that you've seen collisions in this instance, is it?
Mr. Grosjean.
Yes.
Erschen hit us.
Yeah. So,
in the same
by the way,
situation.
guys, if you happen to be watching, I did actually send out a lot of tweets to the F1 drivers, or at least their Twitter accounts, whether they took it. Let us know if you are watching this evening, Rowan. You know, nothing personal, mate. Just stating a fact. And who was the other one that you said? It wasn't Hulkenberg, was it?
Hulkenberg? No.
No, what did you say? You said Grosjean and who else? Erschen, yeah. Well, to be fair, Eriksen's, I think, competing in other events at the moment because he's not in the F1.
He's in America now.
Oh, he's in America. So good luck in whatever you're doing there. But yeah, again, those are incidents. But you've only got to look back in the F1 tonight. Past seasons and races. Azerbaijan, as we said and touched on earlier, always been a track that seems to claim its victims.
It always delivers.
Yeah.
It always. Whether it rains or when it shines, it doesn't really matter. People will hit the barriers, will hit each other. This is madness. Madness.
It is a great track. I've got to say, since its introduction, I was a little bit. But I love this track to watch it, you know, to watch the race and to see the action that's going on. It is just great fun. It really is a great track, even in the real world, very much so as well.
Yeah, safety car in this lap. Safety car in this lap.
So safety car will be coming in this lap. Dylan now will be looking to back up that pack as much as he can. Let's go on board with Phil Harris. Now this is where it can all go horribly wrong, isn't it, on the restart, especially here at Azerbaijan. You've got to say, it is anything can happen. Anything can happen.
Anything can happen. Here we go. Dylan is.
So he's really holding them up. Now I'd expect him to release actually about halfway between 19 and 20. But we are at that point now.
Oh, he's going.
Yeah, he's going. Yeah, that's exactly where I thought he would do. Phil Harris there fighting hard against Ross Milburn to keep his place. They're coming down into turn one. Dylan leads the way.
Again. All over again.
Dylan leads the way. Phil Harris in second. Ross Milburn in there. Chris Knight. Oh, did Ross kiss the barrier there? I think he did a little bit. Chris Knight in behind him. Then we have Ryan Lear, Callum White. And this is very tight now between these guys as they're coming down the straight between 2 and 3. Obviously, Woodbees, this is another effective start to the race, a rolling start really. Everyone still on those fresh tyres.
There goes now we're racing. Everybody has a little bit of distance from each other, so
yeah, it's looking pretty good so far. Let's get up.
Yeah, looking good.
With Dylan coming into turn 7 now. Let's actually go on board with Ross Milburn into this sector here. Respectable restart, definitely.
Yeah,
Ross Milburn already losing a bit of pace, I think, on Phil Harris. Yeah, 1 second. Almost he is. 1.1 seconds Phil. Oh, dearie me! Well, that was Phil Harris, I think, wasn't it? No, who was that? Was it Ross Milburn? Oh, it was the Alfa Romeo. Chris Knight made contact out of 15, and he's lost the end plate. And this is very dangerous, especially coming around this sector here, isn't it?
Yeah, you gotta back off a bit because you got no downforce, so it won't get you through if you go full on.
Now, is he going to stay out? Is he coming out? He's staying out.
He's staying out.
That is, well, I've got to say, I think that's a bit of a dangerous move. We'll stay on board with him at this moment in time.
Yeah,
that's
I'm
Chris
looking
Knight.
at his exterior, and he is missing his wing end plate.
How much of a difference will this make to him? Can be tricky.
These cars are fully loaded, fully stocked with petrol right now.
Yeah.
Fuel, not petrol. Petrol is something you get at a petrol station.
Well, yeah, they do have petrol. Somewhat different to what you put in your normal car, it's got to be said, but they do have petrol.
A little bit higher octane, maybe?
Slightly, yes. Slightly.
Yeah.
Well, Chris Knight at this moment in time, he is holding his own. Let's watch him through this castle section, see what happens through there. Obviously, I'm being somewhat of a bit of a vulture here because I know he's lost that end plate. I know it's going to affect his downforce, and in this race, that can be very, very critical indeed. But he seems to be holding his own at this moment, Chris. Yeah. He's doing a good job of it, got to say. Let's watch him into that turn 15. That's where he made the contact. Let's see what he does this time.
Oh, yeah, he hits it again.
When he hits it again, he's going to have to come in now. Look at the damage. He's lost all the winglets off there, and he's holding up the guys now behind him as well. Ryan Lear is going to look to try and get past him. Is he going to try and hold him off? I mean, this is so... He's got no downforce there. Callum White is through. Oh, Callum makes contact with the wall. Jack Wilson is through as well. But Callum made contact there. It was with his tyre. Jamie Good going past him as well now. He's into the pits. So Jamie Good, Callum White is now alongside Jack Wilson as they're coming down to one, slots in behind. Jamie Good really close in behind them as well. There we have Callum White coming into Jack Wilson now as they come down into turn 2. And it's really, really tight between these guys here as we see this sort of little midfield battles that are going on. Callum White only just under 2/10 off the back of Jack Wilson. 6/10 off the back of him is Jamie Good. Then you've got Jake Sorrell, 4/10 off the back of Jamie Good. So a real fight going on here for P5, 6 and 7.
Looking all the way at the back is Thomas Cook overtaking Ryan Doran here. They both in the lap before this they had damage, so they pitted.
We are on board at this moment in time with Callum White in the Renault. He's got up into that P6 position and he's looking to see if he can make a move on Jack Wilson. Overtaking points here at Baku.
Sliding!
Jack Wilson sliding there, and we can just go on the overhead as Jamie Good makes the move. And he's sliding as well. Is it Jamie Good that's sliding? I'm not too sure here. This is really
I think it's
difficult
Callum
to tell.
White who's sliding. It's the Red Bull that was sliding. I know that's now. And before
it's side by side. Sorry, he's right side by side with Jake Sorrell as they're coming around 16.
Jack Wilson hit the barrier.
Jack Wilson has hit the barrier. But Jake Sorrell and Callum White there behind.
Almost.
This is so tight. Dylan Platt in the meantime setting the fastest lap, provisional fastest lap, 1:43.7. Had set it previously to that as well. Let's go on board here with Jamie Good.
Jack Wilson is in the pit.
Yeah, no surprise. Oh, look at that. Jake Sorrell spins out into one. He's facing the wrong way, trying to get back. Gets it back on track. Fortunately, no further contact. I think there was a bit of contact with Cameron Widdowson.
Yeah, Cameron Widdowson was.
I think he may have a bit of damage. Let's have a look here. No, he's okay. So Cameron Widdowson is clean. Jake Sorrell back on track in that P10 position. Spun it into turn 1 there. And yeah, this is definitely lively. We got lap 7 and we've got 51 laps to go, so another 44 laps. And again, he's made contact with the barrier. Out of 4.
His wing end plate on the left side.
Yeah, end plate has gone on that racing point now. Let's see how he deals with that. Chris Knight is in 10, Jack Wilson is in 12. 13 is Sean Street. He's dropped right back down again. He's gone on to a fresh set of hard tyres. So he's clearly come into the pits, gone into those hard compound tyres, and looking to go deep into this race. We'll come back to that. Thomas Cook's in 14. 15 is Ryan Don, but leading the way is Dylan Platt. But look at this gap to Phil Harris. 2.5 seconds, Guido.
Yeah.
3 laps he's done that in.
Well, he's done that before, and then how long is he gonna squeeze these tires?
Yeah.
And we're in the beginning of the race. There's so much that's happening. So I don't know what this doesn't really say anything. You know, obviously he's very fast, and he's got total control right now. But what does it say in the long run of this race? It's
well, I mean, if he can get a big enough gap to when they actually come into pit on Phil Harris, if he gets a pit ahead of him, that's going to be a major step. Ross Milburn, he's currently in P3. He's 3.6 seconds off the back of Phil Harris. Ryan Lear is 6.5 seconds in P4 off the back of Ross Milburn. Jamie Good, 2.5 seconds off the back of Lear. Then we've got Lee Pratt, and Lee Pratt is starting to close in on Jamie Good. Yeah. So we've seen those midfield guys sort of separate out a bit. They've dropped back, and some have actually come into the pits there. We are with Lee Pratt at this moment in time in the Ferrari, and he's having to make up ground here, isn't he?
Yeah, well, he's doing that. He's making it, you know, he's just waiting for, I think, the long straight to take over, because then he's going to get his DRS, and he's going to get the toe of the car. I think it's a good call to try and stay behind him, because the accidents and incident that did happened a bit while either hitting the barrier or making an early mistake trying to overtake in this one. You know, you got this long straight where you can overtake. Just wait for that. A little patience. And
I mean, you also do have a good opportunity on the first DRS point out of turn 2 as well, though, don't you, Guido?
Yeah, you do. But it's, you know,
Jamie Good trying to break the toe there from Lee Pratt as they're coming down the start-finish straight. Gets locked up, makes the move. Let's watch him, though, into this corner. Lee Pratt gets ahead of Jamie Good. Good move. Jamie could come back. This is what I'm talking about. Out of turn 2, you got that DRS. He's not close enough. I mean, you need to be really almost, you need to be riding the tail of the car in front to really make that work, don't you?
Within a second.
Yeah. Well, within a tenth, you mean?
No, within a second.
No, but to make it work out to 2.
Yeah.
You've got to be right on their tail.
That straight is not too long enough, so you can. Yeah, you really need to be really close together.
Yeah. So, I mean, that is another overtaking opportunity. Other than that, I mean, we've seen some brave overtakes in that middle sector around 13 and 14 in previous races. So, I mean, it can be done. It's just not usual. Yeah. It depends on your perspective, Guido, I guess.
It does, yeah. Oh, I get you. If you have an opportunity, obviously you will take it, but it's just he hit the barrier. Jamie Good hit the barrier. Right front.
Let's have a look on here. Yeah, he's lost the front right end plate. So that was 15, turn 15, I suspect. Lee Pratt.
Oh, and I was just about to hit it on the left side.
Oh. And this is what we were talking about, isn't it?
Yeah.
You lose that end plate, and you haven't got the control as you're coming through those final 17, 8, particularly 18 and 19. You've got to be so careful. So he's into the pits. Lee Pratt now moves up into 5th place as he was anyway, but Tony Foster assumes that P6 position for the McLaren. Cameron Widdowson is now 7. Jamie Good still in there. He's going onto the hard. So Jamie Good going onto the hard compound tyres. Chris Knight moves up into 8. Jack Wilson will be 9. Thomas Cook 10. Sean Street 11, and Jamie Good will be coming out in P12. But he is on the hard compound tyre, so that will serve him. Guido, having a quick look through the tyres here, obviously a little bit more settled now with the runners and riders as they are on the field. Oh, safety car, safety car. Cameron Widdowson, yeah, he hit the barrier. He was standing still, and he had to drive back to get on the track. Let's have a look what damage he's got. Oh, yeah, he's lost his front right. Almost completely, so he is racing around as fast as he possibly can into the pits, and Cameron Widdowson there, unfortunately in the Williams, sustaining some severe damage to that front right wing. I suspect that was probably round about turn 3. Turn 3, I think. Yeah. So certainly with that right end damage, that's where it would be. So he hit the wall coming out of turn 3.
Oh, don't go too fast.
Yeah, you got to watch it.
A lot of debris on the track.
But okay, so this is shaking it up now. Second safety car. This is going to close them back down again. What I was going to touch on is obviously the tyres. Now, in the meantime, obviously these guys have come in. Phil Harris has come in. He's gone off the softs onto the mediums. Dylan Platt has come in as well. He's gone off the mediums onto another set of mediums. Ross Milburn, he's in, going onto a set of softs. Ryan Leah is coming in as well. Let's have a look. What's he going on to? Ryan Leah onto a set of softs. Lee Pratt onto mediums. Cameron Widdowson coming as well. So everybody taking advantage, quite rightly, of this safety car and coming in and going onto a fresh set of boots. I was going to say, how deep can they go? But equally as relevant, really. I mean, Dylan has gone onto a set of mediums. Phil Harris has matched that onto a set of mediums as well. Ross Milburn onto softs. But how deep can they go on this track on those mediums? I mean, Dylan's only done 10 laps, and 3 of those were on the safety car. And he came in and went onto a fresh set of mediums. So that would suggest to me that these mediums are not going to last. So what are we looking at here? I mean, we're looking, what, 16, 17 laps? Surely not. It's got to be more than that. Well, I don't know. It's difficult to say because we haven't really seen the guys stretch. I mean, I would have expected the mediums to go to the mid-20s on this.
Yeah, something like that. But
and
it's, you know,
the softs would probably be sort of low to mid-teens.
No, I think that the tyre wear is pretty high in this one.
Yeah, it is high.
I really expected Dylan to go on the harder compounds now.
But is he saving it? I mean, is he just sort of altering his run here?
Well, it's a gamble. If you gamble for another safety car, is it a gamble? There's going to be another safety car.
Yeah.
We're just in lap 11 over here, and it's.
Yeah, we've got 40 laps remaining, as you say. We are on lap 11, and yeah, I mean, he could well be sitting there thinking, well, look, there's going to be another safety car because this is Baku, and there's always safety cars. We've already had 2. We're only on lap 11. We're bound to have more.
Yeah, as we said in the queues when we were talking about it in the queues, there goes your strategy. It's totally different than what you expected to be. We already have 2 safety cars.
But do you take account, as a driver, obviously you haven't got the same team behind you, obviously, as real-world F1 drivers. You've got to figure out your own strategy, your own setup, etc., etc. You can liaise, obviously, with your teammate with regards to that. But, do you plan for this sort of event? I mean, when you're planning for a race, do you think, okay, this is what I'm looking to go on, but the chances are I'm going to probably get a couple of safety cars at least, so I've got a bit of flexibility here. Does that come into play?
Yeah, it does. And it's not as tight, obviously, as you rightfully say in the real life world, but it's something you have in your head, and you're basically shooting at that. Let's put it like that. This is the idea you have, and that idea you're going to use. And then when it all gets turned upside down, you just deal with it. And sometimes you deal with it in front and you think about it, and sometimes you just don't. Because let's be fair, how can you plan 4 safety cars?
Yeah. I mean, game nuances. When you come into the pits, you have to change tyres, don't you?
Yeah, you do.
So what happened? I mean, can you alter that? I mean, if you're coming into the pits, you can't amend that. You have to stick to your tyre selection that you selected at the beginning, before the race start.
No. If you drive, and while you're on the way, you can alter which tyre you want to have.
Okay.
So you don't have to set a set strategy in front of before you start the race. You can alter it on your steering wheel. You can alter if you want your damage automatically fixed, or if you're a very good driver, you can drive with a wing end plate that's fallen off and you feel fine. You can even alter that it won't be fixed.
Yeah.
So you can change the tires. You can even set used tires. You can basically change everything. But the thing is, you have to change tires if you go into the pits. And I don't know if that's mandatory in the F1 real world as well.
No, I think you can come into the pits without having to change the tyre. Obviously, if you've got a nose change or something like that, but it is mandatory in the game that you have to change the tyre when you come into the pits. So that is the difference, well, one of the many, but that is the main difference, obviously, from a racing and a strategy point of view between the game and the real-world event. We are on board with Callum White, who's just bringing up the rear. He's come in, obviously, got that nose change and obviously the tyre change as well. Safety car will be coming in at the end of lap 13, and the cars are all line to stern at this moment in time. As I said, Dylan Platt, Phil Harris, both on the mediums. Ross Milburn has opted for the softs. Going to be interesting because he's going to be looking to get certainly past Phil Harris, and if he can, Dylan Platt as well. Tony Foster on the mediums. He's opted to not come in and keep that position, so he's clearly feeling confident on those medium compound tyres. Lee Pratt in the Ferrari, he's on a fresh set of mediums, he's in P5. Ryan Lear, fresh set of softs, he's in P6 for Haas. Chris Knight for Alfa Romeo, he's kept his medium 7 laps. Jamie Good, he's on a fresh set of hard compound tyres, first man to come in. He obviously had that nose change as well. Sean Street, he's on a fresh set of mediums. Jack Wilson, he's on a fresh set of mediums too. Jack Wilson obviously there in the rear. Cameron Widdowson in the Williams. He is on a fresh set of hards. Fresh set of softs for Thomas Cook, although he's in the Mercedes, he is Alfa Romeo. Callum White, as I said there, he's on a fresh set of softs in 13. Ryan Doran, he fresh set of mediums, and Jake Sorrell, fresh set of mediums as well. So everybody's come in, apart from 2 drivers, Tony Foster and Chris Knight. They stayed out to see if they can maintain the positions. 2 DNFs, Josh Diggles, Adrian Rich, as we saw turn 2 in lap 1. No others so far. Safety car will be coming in at the end of this lap. We are just exiting or approaching the exit of sector 2 into the 3rd and final sector. This is F1 Tonight UK Season 2 Round 4 here for the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. And Dylan Platt, second safety car, winding the field back, getting ready for the start. He did it just on the between 19 and 20. I feel he's going to go on the exit of 19 here, just to shake it up a bit. He's going to go on the exit of this corner here. Yep. Yep. No. He's holding it off. He's holding it off. He's holding it off. And the field is backing up here. They're all in that test. But there he goes. He's winding it up now, just as he was coming into 20. And look at this already. Ross Milburn was right alongside Phil Harris. But Phil pulled it out, opened up his ERS undoubtedly. No DRS at this moment in time. I'll explain that in 1 second. As they come into turn 1, Dylan leads away. Phil Harris is second. Ross Milburn is third. Tony Foster is fourth. Lee Pratt, overtakes Ryan Lear. Gets in. No, Ryan Lear overtakes Lee Pratt, sorry. The Haas overtakes the Ferrari into P5. Lee Pratt drops down to 6. Chris Knight remains in 7. Sean Street 8. Jamie Good, and they're all so tight now as they're coming through. But the real fight that we're looking at here is going to be Phil Harris, Ross Milburn, and Ross Milburn is really looking to try and close down. Sorry, Ryan Lear making the move Tony Foster into 5 and 6, really hassling the McLaren's alongside him as they're coming down towards turn 7. Look at this, side by side. Oh, contact. There's a bit of wheel bumping there, no damage. McLaren drops down to the 5. Lee Pratt slots in behind him. But the front 3 runners already starting to open up to one another. So no challenges going through at this moment in time. Chris Knight, 3/10 off the back of Lee Pratt in the Ferrari. He looks like he's zoning in on that Ferrari as they come into 15. Yeah, he's definitely going to be looking to make the move on him if he can. Now, coming around the 3rd and final sector is Dylan Platt, Phil Harris. Let's have a look at this. Phil Harris, half a second down already. Ross Milburn, almost a second down. Ryan Lear, but Lee Pratt's going. He's going to make the move on Tony Foster, and the McLaren gets alongside him. Straight forward. Gets past him. Again, no DRS. DRS has not been enabled yet. For those of you that may be unfamiliar, what I'm referring to, DRS, that is the system. If you look at the back wing of the car, it looks pretty solid. DRS actually opens up a flap on that back wing, therefore increasing the airflow and the speed of the car. So basically that wing at the top opens up, the wing at the bottom sort of opens down, and you have that gap. That is DRS. That is the specific zones that we indicated at the beginning of this race on the intro on the track map. There are 2 DRS zones. First one is out of turn 2 down to turn 3. And the second one, as you come out or approaching the pit entry, activates with after turn 20 down towards turn 1 over the start-finish line. That's your DRS points. ERS is the electronic recovery system, just to add a little spice, and that is the electrically generated motor or engine. Gives you about an extra 150 brake horsepower, I believe, and that makes a difference. That is actually...
Callum White next to...
Yeah, Jack Wilson. And he does, he makes the move, I was saying, round 13 and 14. And he made that move round 14. Oh, dearie me, and that's Jamie Good. Jamie Good into the wall there at turn 15. VSC is out. Oh, everybody loves a VSC. We are on board with Cameron Widdowson at the moment. You can see there, Jamie Good firmly planted in the corner there of that turn 15. And Ryan Doran as well. Ryan Doran has gone out as well, and that's just as him coming down to turn 16, clearly lost it. So that's Ryan Doran for Renault and Jamie Good, the solo Toro Rosso. They are both out of this race.
Phil Harris is coming in.
Yeah, Phil Harris has come in indeed. 5-lap old mediums, what's he going to go on to? This is the question. And he's going to set hards.
Is he going to try and finish this?
He's going to try and finish this, I think, on those hard compound tyres. He's got the option to go on to a set of softs. So, could be looking at that option towards the end of the race. But
yeah, exactly.
He's definitely looking to go in deep.
Trying to get the fastest lap in the end.
I mean, it's 35 laps to go. One would have thought that the hard compound tyre should be able to manage that, but this is it's a tricky track. We know you can set good time on those hards. Phil Harris obviously set some great times in Q1 and in Q2 on the hard compound tyre, so it can be done.
You're a little lighter, you have a little less fuel, so maybe a little bit more traction then. See what that does for the confidence in the car.
Be interesting to see what happens. VSC is now off. We are back racing. For those of you unfamiliar, VSC is the virtual safety car. So rather than the physical safety car comes out, you have a virtual safety car, and you have to maintain your sectors, which that means you've got to maintain the gap in front of you. So you've got to stay sort of equal distance effectively. Very, very difficult to do. Easy to describe, not easy to do, is it, Guido?
No. The VSC, well, as well as the physical safety car, it is difficult to stay in one
just
tempo.
Going back. Sorry, just got to cut. Ryan Leah coming back at Lee Pratt coming back at Ryan Leah on the straight and into turn 1, makes the move, gets back past the Haas and moves up into P3.
Right.
So
there's no DRS yet.
Yeah, the Ferrari there of Lee Pratt. DRS has now been activated, it would have been activated now.
Yeah.
So it made the move on the Haas, gets ahead of him, gets up into that P3 position.
Callum making a move. Chris Knight.
Yeah, Callum makes the move. Makes the move on Chris Knight. So that was out of turn 3. He's got Chris Knight right on his tail at this moment in time, but now he's lost him. So Callum White now zoning in on the Haas of Ryan Leah. And this is interesting because they're on the softs. Ryan Leah is on the soft, but Lee Pratt was on the medium, so he's managed to get past him. So what can Callum White do? We've seen him make the move out of 14 before. And all you've got to do is leave a little bit of a gap for him and he'll take it.
P10 is a little bit of a battle as well. It's 3 cars. Really, really close. Oh!
Yeah, Jake Sorrell closing in. And Jack Wilson closing in on him.
Okay, here we go.
Let's go with Callum White now as they get round turn 20. He's got to get past this Haas now of Ryan Lear. Getting as close as he can, moving aside. Oh, and Lee Pratt coming into the pits there. Callum White, is he nosing ahead? Oh, just as they come to turn 1, yes! Oh, and Ryan Lear has to slot in behind him. So Ryan Lear, Thomas Cook, also under challenge from Chris Knight as well now. But Callum White gets ahead of Ryan Lear, gets into that P3 position. And this is looking fairly good at the moment, because Callum White, I mean, he's 15 seconds. Look at this. I mean, Callum White is 19 and a half seconds off his teammate. Phil Harris is out. Phil Harris is out. Where was that?
Out of the pits.
Out of the pits?
Out of the pits. He was in the pits. What happened?
No idea what happened there. Phil Harris is out. So Phil Harris is out of this race. No idea what happened. I don't know if you want to check on Discord, Guido.
Thomas Cook in the castle area.
He's still riding though.
Yeah, he missed the turn, so he went in the runoff.
Oh right. He's still on the game. He's still on the field though.
Oh man, there's a lot of stuff going on right now.
Well, 18 to 51. We're approaching the halfway mark, but we're still 18 laps, 19 laps now. Only 32 laps remaining of this race, but it is a very, very tough race. Let's have a quick look in reverse order. Adrian Rich, Josh Diggles out first lap. Jamie Good, Ryan Doran out, about 10 laps ago. Phil Harris just went out, and we think that was on the exit of the pit. Tony Foster in the McLaren is currently P12. Lee Pratt in the Ferrari is P11. P10 is Cameron Widdowson. P9 is Jack Wilson. 8 is Jack Sorrell. 7 is Thomas Cook. 6 is Sean Street. 5 is Chris Knight. Look at this, and he is closing down. Ryan Lear is not having fun at this moment in time, is he?
No, as we
he's
said,
under a lot of pressure there.
Red Bull needs points. And look at this. If this is a prediction of the ending, Red Bull's going to get some real points here.
Yeah. Well, potential first and third on the board as it stands at this moment in time. We are on board with Chris Knight in the Alfa Romeo, and he is zoning in at this moment in time on Ryan Lear. Ryan Lear, teammate last year to Dylan Platt in the Haas this season. And not doing too badly, got to say.
Oh, look at this, Sean Street. Oh, Sean Street hit the wall. He got damage again on the right front. He's having problems with the car.
Yeah, front right end plate has gone on that McLaren. Clearly downforce issues, but Thomas Cook going very wide as well. But then again, he's used to the Alfa Romeo, so maybe the setup's not working for him. He has to go for a standard setup.
Yeah.
Jake Sorrell in 8, Jack Wilson 9, Cameron Widdowson is in 10 now. Lee Pratt is down to 11, but he has gone onto those hard compound tyres. And Tony Foster has dropped down to 12 as well, but he's gone onto a fresh set of soft. So is he going to be looking to challenge Lee Pratt? Time will tell. Tony always normally at least finishing in the points. Dylan Platt now leading the way. Look, he's 6.2 seconds off second place Ross Milburn in the Racing Point. Callum White, his teammate, is 14 seconds off him. 20 seconds the gap for Dylan Platt. That's surely got to be a pit stop in hand to P3 at the moment.
Yeah. Yeah, well, he's gonna widen the gap even more. So he's gonna be basically be clear for another pit stop. Yeah.
Well, it's going to be very interesting to see how this pans out. Phil Harris obviously did go onto those hard compound tyres. He didn't even complete, well, not even start his opening lap off those.
He didn't.
I'm wondering if he lost it out of there because of the tyres accelerated. Because if you hit your accelerator hard on that exit of those pits, it is quite easy to spin the car. I'm wondering if he just didn't plant it in the barrier.
Yeah, it could spin.
So I think that may have been what happened. But we now, this has really mixed it up. I'm just wondering how deep these guys can go on the hard compound tyres. They've done 9 laps. There are 30 laps remaining. They can go quite deep on that. I suspect that we're probably going to see Cameron Widdowson jump up into the top 5 and Jack Wilson before the next round of pit stops, Guido. Or after the next round of pit stops, rather.
I don't know about that.
Well, look, I mean, Ross Milburn is definitely going to have to come in. He's on the softs. So is Callum White. He's on the softs. And so is Thomas Cook. He's on the softs. So those 3 guys are going to have to come in as it stands at this moment in time. You know, they're 14 seconds up. Jake Sorrell is definitely going to pit. Well, Jake Sorrell is definitely going to pit before them. In fact, Thomas Cook makes the move on Chris Knight, his teammate. So although he's in a Mercedes, they are teammates. They are both Alfa Romeo. So I think that was just a straight swap. Obviously, Thomas feels that he's faster. We do expect, obviously, comms. I think there's comms between the drivers. I think that is more and more common, obviously, now with the comm system. So I suspect that Chris Knight just let him through because Tom feels he can open up there.
Yellow flag.
Yeah, yellow flag in sector 2.
I can't see who's jumping from spaces, so there's nothing real big going on. Yellow flag is gone, so
yeah, it has.
Maybe just grazed the wall. Oh, we could see somebody pitting again.
Who are we going to see pitting?
Oh! Jake Sorrell went
Jake Sorrell!
Oh, Jack Wilson hits him in the back.
Who's got into the back of him?
Jack Wilson gets a 5-second time penalty for that in the game. That's one of those things that should be changed in the game. He hits a standing car in the back and gets a 5-second time penalty. That is not right.
No, that is definitely not right. It's not his fault at the end of the day, especially on that corner there. We are going to see VSC. I'm surprised we're not seeing the safety car on that one.
Oh, that should be a safety car.
That should really be a safety car. I'm a little bit disappointed with that, but well, we saw it on the aerial there. Jake Sorrell just missing the braking point, and well, not just missing it, going straight into the wall. They did try and turn, but it was way too late, and pans it into turn 15 there. So another victim is claimed. We already have well, we already had 5 DNFs. We've now got 6. We have a field of 11 remaining, and I said at the beginning, Guido, I said, you know, before the end of this race, I wouldn't be surprised if it goes sub 10.
Sub 10.
Yeah, I think it's, you know, but, you know, this is the thing with Baku. It's, you look back historically at previous season races, and, you know, it's not a question of the skill or the ability of the drivers, because they clearly do. It is just a really tough track. And this is virtually, and Tony Foster taking a wonderful power slide. Fantastic out of 4. That was beautiful to see, gotta say. Tony Foster power sliding out of turn 4 there, currently in P10. VSC is off. We are back racing. Dylan Platt now.
PA is right on the tail of Cameron Widdowson, so that's probably going to be attacked. And behind that is Sean Street, mind you not.
Yeah, Sean Street watching the action in the background here. This is for P7 and P8, coming down round 15 now. DRS would have been enabled after safety car, so we will have DRS as they're coming down that start-finish straight. They are lying astern at the moment for P7 and P8. Look at this. Ballsy and the Haas is looking to try and make a move on the outside of the Williams. Gets on the inside, actually. gets past him, gets ahead, and Sean Street as well, nosing in front. Is he going to make it? Oh, just. Sean Street gets ahead as well of Cameron Widdowson, so move there for 7 and 8. Ryan Lear taking 7, Sean Street taking 8, Cameron Widdowson dropping down into 9. Tony Foster rapidly approaching him as well, so needs to probably get back of that very shortly indeed. Dylan Platt in the meantime. Ross Milburn is slightly closing down the gap, was about 15.5, it's now down to 14.4, so he is closing him down a bit, but he's on 12-lap-old softs. I can't see those softs going much deeper, Guido.
No. I'm sorry, I just... my headset lost comm, so I don't know if you said anything to me in the last 20 seconds. But...
No, I've just been talking away merrily myself.
Very good. Very good. It just lost connection, but it's just right there, as you say. It's 12-lap-old soft. He's got to come in somehow or sometime. And he's not going to close down Dylan Platt at all. Is he just going to have to change? Well, what's he going to do? Is he going to go on a harder compound?
Sorry, Guido. Just going to cut in here because we are with Tony Foster at this moment. I said he was going to zone in on Cameron Widdowson, and he really has very rapidly zoned in on him. They're coming into the third and final sector now, and I'm pretty confident Tony's going to be looking to make a move down the start-finish straight. Thomas Cook taking the provisional fastest lap at 1:41, and look at this, he's really tight in behind him right into this turn 20. Gets alongside him. He's made it stick, I'm sure. Cameron Widdowson, look, they are side by side as they're coming down. Slots in front of him. Is he going to slot? Yes. Tony Foster makes the move, makes it stick, and takes the P9 position. He's in the points. Tony is there. And Cameron Widdowson, obviously, you know, this is what I'm saying. Those hard compound tyres, yeah, they'll go deep, but when you're up against somebody on a pair of softs, you've got, you know, a set of softs, you've got no chance.
No. Well, not in the beginning anyway. It's
yeah,
just,
I mean, they've got to get heat up. They don't come alive, I think, until you probably get up into the higher teens.
Yeah,
but
and you use them for the long run. Yeah, it's just as you say. You know, they come alive a little bit late, but you know, it all comes down to tactics here.
Right. Well, Ross Milburn still on those soft compound tyres, and he's obviously feeling pretty comfortable because he doesn't. Oh, he's coming in. Coming? No, he's not. Yes, he is. Yeah, he's coming in. So Ross Milburn coming off those softs now. Thomas Cook is coming round 18. So Thomas Cook in the Mercedes this evening, but drives for Alfa Romeo. Late arrival, so he had to take the car that was available, and that was the Mercedes.
So Street is trying to knock at the door
Ross Milburn
coming
out. Thomas Cook just coming down the start-finish straight. This is going to be tight. Ross Milburn just coming out as Thomas Cook comes round the corner. Yeah, he does get ahead of him. So Thomas Cook jumps up into P2. Ross Milburn now is in P3. Callum White is in P4. He has come in and gone on to a fresh set of mediums back on lap 21, sorry. No, 22. Yeah, it was 22. And he's up into P4. Chris Knight is in P5. He's on a set of softs. Lee Pratt is on those hard compound tyres. He should jump ahead as long as he can stay with Chris Knight and Callum White. Should at least get him back up into that P3 position. Ross Milburn would be his target, but he's just come in and gone, as we saw, onto a fresh set of mediums. There are 26 laps remaining. Those mediums should take him to the end, shouldn't they, Guido?
Then again, it should. Technically, they should, but what's going to happen when you get a safety car again?
Well,
they can go the distance. Let's put it that way. They can go the distance.
Well, to be fair, I mean, we've had 2 safety cars, 2 VSCs, and we are now halfway through this race. This is F1 Tonight UK Season 2. Oh, Ross Milburn side swipes the barrier there as he was coming around turn 18. got to go back into the pits now. This is a disaster for him, surely, Guido.
Yeah, this is. You had a fresh set of tires, and that's what we talked about before. You have to change the tires, because that's what the program or what the game does. And,
he's going onto a set of mediums, but they've already had 10 laps on them.
Yeah, exactly.
So he's going to
have to come in again.
He's going to have to come in again, indeed. And now he's going to drop right down into P9. And this is disastrous results for his race. He was looking at a podium finish there.
Yeah, tires weren't warm enough. There was no heat in there. Didn't have the grip. And just lost it then.
Yeah. It is, well, as I say, it was just literally as he was coming out of 18, I think as he was coming out of 17 towards 18, that's when he sideswiped there. And yeah, that's basically race done for Ross Milburn in the Racing Point. Great shame, because he was doing so well there, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was. Yeah, definitely.
But let's not give it away. Anything can happen. He could still claw it back. Who knows? Tony Foster is in he's in Azerbaijan. Ryan Lear for Haas is in 7. Sean Street is in 6. Ryan Lear looks like he's trying to close in on Sean Street. Lee Pratt is now up to P5. Chris Knight for Alfa Romeo is in 4. Callum White maintains that P3 position. Thomas Cook for Alfa Romeo this evening drove Mercedes is in 2. Dylan Platt leads away, but Guido 39.5 seconds on P2. I mean, he's got a pit stop plus to spare now. Oh, who's that? Chris Knight? Who's just... Yeah, Thomas Cook has come in. Thomas Cook has come in, so now he's got his teammate in P2. So Callum White is now in P2, and as I said, he's 45 seconds off. So
Callum White's got penalties. He's got 1 penalty, plus 3 warnings, plus 2 warnings. It must be... Yeah, it's 1 penalty, that's all.
1 penalty, but 2 warnings for a second penalty. So he's got a 3-second time penalty that will be added onto his time at the end.
Yeah.
That is dangerous at the moment, because Chris Knight...
5-second time penalty.
Oh, well, well, there you go. That's negated that. So 5 seconds is... 5-second time penalty, 3 seconds. Yeah, so he's got 6 seconds on him. So actually, Callum White's got 6 seconds on Chris Knight. But Lee Pratt, that could mean that Lee Pratt potentially... he's looking at a podium at this moment in time as it stands then in Guido. So if there's 6 seconds,
clear.
Yeah, Lee Pratt is clear. No time penalties for Lee Pratt to have added on at the end. So from that point of view, we could see Lee Pratt actually jump up onto the podium if he closes down or even maintains this gap. So it's going to be an interesting one. But Red Bull now 1 and 2. The question now, Guido, is how deep can Callum White go on these mediums? I mean, there are 23 laps remaining. That would mean that he'd be doing 29 laps on those mediums. I think that could be pushing it a little bit.
Could be pushing it a little bit too far. A little bit too far.
We've already seen this season where some of the drivers push the tyres and end up with punctures. We've seen that in a couple of races already.
Dylan pushed it too far.
Yeah.
And it just flew out.
So
I don't know. Yeah, he's going to come in. Dylan's going to come in. What's he going to get? He's going to get another set of mediums. If he comes in,
I think he is going to go on to a set of hards. I think if Dylan comes in, but I can't see why Dylan would come in. He's done 17 laps on those mediums.
Yeah, but he's not going to finish it on that.
He's not going to finish, but you know how deep. I think he can go to the mid-20s. So he's got at least another 10 laps on those.
Well, Dylan has got only used medium tyres, so he has to change to a different compound. And I don't know, it's going to be...
Well, if he comes in now, he'll go on to hard. If he stays out, he's going to be looking to go on to the softs. That's the way I'd look at it. He's staying out, so I think he's looking to go deeper and go close on a set of softs.
Get an extra point.
Yeah, get an extra point for the fastest lap. I mean, it's got to be done.
Well, it's delivering again, Azerbaijan.
Yeah, but he needs to do... I'm just working it out, actually, because, I mean, we've got 21 laps remaining.
Thomas Cook in the gearbox.
10.
Ryan Lear. P7.
Yeah. Well, I said Thomas Cook will be closing in on him. coming down into 15 now. Danger point.
Oh, did you see that?
Riding that curb hard on the left-hand side there. Car took a little jump. Obviously, Thomas not necessarily used to driving Mercedes, although I think he did drive. Yeah, he did. No, he did drive in season 1. That was Callum White and Tom. So
there we go.
He's closing in.
DRS.
Yeah, nice and easy.
Oh, it's easy.
Coasts past the Haas still slotting in behind him. And Thomas can now see Sean Street in the McLaren up ahead of him, so that's going to be his next target. And he's got a good pace on him in that Mercedes this evening, got to say.
He's pushed you to get back on the podium there, because he had a pretty tight spot on 2 for a while.
Nicely
He's
done.
eligible for that spot though.
The thing is, it's still so open, Guido. I mean, we're sort of looking here saying, how deep can people go? They're going to go to the end of the race. Are they going to stay on there? I mean, I'm pretty confident that Lee Pratt is if not looking to go to the end of the race, is looking to go as deep as he possibly can on those hard compound tyres, and they seem to be serving him pretty well. Equally, Tom here, Thomas Cook, he's looking to go. He's looking to push. He needs to get to track position here. That's where he needs to get the fight going. He's done 6 laps on those mediums. He could go to the end potentially on these mediums, but he's got a lot of work to do in the meantime. Yeah,
he does have a lot of work to do, but there's just so much that could happen here. It's such an unforgiving track, and now with all the he goes wide a bit.
Look at this! He makes the move on Sean Street. They're side by side as they're coming through this set of corners here. Oh, and he gets ahead of him. Lovely job there. I think, to be fair, I think Sean may have backed off somewhat there, but Sean Street, I think he made the Lee Pratt is into the pits.
Sean Street went into the pits, so you might...
No, Lee Pratt's gone into the pits. Sean Street has stayed out, but Lee Pratt got into the pits. I don't get that. 12-lap hold. Okay. Damage, yeah. He's got front wing damage, so he's getting a front wing replaced. And he's gone onto a set of mediums with 7 laps on them. So he's struggling for tyres as well. So, very interesting indeed. Dylan Platt still leading the way in that P1 position, and what a job he's doing at this moment in time, I've got to say. Really absolutely great job, and he's going to very much value those points. Callum White, his teammate, is in 2nd place, and again he's looking strong. I'm just gonna it's tough. I think he's still got a fight, because Chris Knight is in that P3 position, and he could quite easily take, 9 laps mediums, he's got 20 laps to go. I think Callum's got his work cut out for him, and Chris will certainly capitalise on that, and he's certainly within distance, although he's on a soft set of tyres, so he needs to make the move on track if he can, really, doesn't he?
I don't think Chris Knight is a problem for Callum.
I don't know, he can make, I'm just looking, I just realised he was on a set of softs, but he needs to make the move on track on Callum White, really.
Yeah, he needs to make the move, but I don't know if
yeah, Callum White is in the pits. No, Callum White. Where's Callum White? Where's Callum White? What's going on?
I saw that as well. I see him driving.
Okay.
Chris Knight isn't.
Okay, I've got Callum White in P3. That is, how did Callum White get up behind Chris Knight? He must have been saying, did he have a drive-through penalty? Can you check that, Guido?
I don't know what's going on here. It just right in front of me, it just changed. We were talking about the seconds that were... I don't know. There's something
This is very odd here. But anyway, Callum White is in P3, irrespective. Chris Knight is now in P2, and I'm sure Callum White actually came in and was serving some sort of penalty. We've got a yellow flag in Sector 1.
He has got a penalty, but not a 5-second. It doesn't say.
That's gone now.
And it doesn't say drive-through or anything.
Very odd. Okay, well, we are where we are. Dylan Platt leads the way. He is now 53 seconds ahead of 2nd place. Chris Knight in the Alfa Romeo. Third place is Callum White in the Red Bull, chasing down the Alfa Romeo. And he is really chasing him down. He is going to be looking to make that move back on him, whatever the circumstances of how it happened. And Chris Knight, I'm sure, is more than aware he's got that Red Bull bearing down on him. He will have DRS. This is going to be, should be a straightforward move, surely, Guido?
Yeah. Gonna open up. Oh, got a bit wide there. Oh no, he keeps it. He stays.
Oh, but look at that! Oh, and he goes too deep! Oh, Chris Knight! He goes too deep. Tried to correct on the exit of one. Got sideswiped by Callum White, and that is completely wiped out his front wing. Front left at least, and I thought he was going to lose a wheel there as well.
I don't know what happened there. I saw it from a distance.
Yeah, that was it was racing incident. I mean, you know, no fault there of Callum White. That was a racing incident. Well, certainly from my point of view. Yeah. Chris Knight just went into that bend, went too deep on the brake, couldn't quite make it, and then he got sideswiped as he tried to correct with Callum White right alongside him. Took out his, I mean, he's taken out his front left end plate and the winglets. Certainly will have affected his downforce. He's going to have to come in, surely, and pit. He can't stay out for, what, another 28 laps on that.
No, definitely not.
So Chris Knight will come in, and Thomas Cook will get back up into P3. Ross Milburn is getting that bit closer by the looks of it, but
Ross Milburn just came in and he changed tyres.
He's gone onto a fresh set of mediums, yeah. That will definitely take him to the end of this race.
Tony Foster has a fresh set of mediums as well.
Lee Pratt, he's on 9-lap-old mediums. Yeah, this is going to be. He's going to have. I can't see Lee Pratt going another 28 laps on those mediums. I don't know what your thoughts are on that, Guido, but I don't think so.
I don't know. It's just. No, 20.
That's it, Guido. That's it. I am officially changing your tag to Guido. I don't know, Erschen.
Am I saying it that often?
It's like, yeah, I mean, the things I understand fully where you're coming from, because it's just like you can call it out, but it's just so unpredictable because it all depends on what happens on track. We've got a safety car. Safety car is out. Safety car is out.
Oh my God.
Safety car is out. I don't know, was that Jake Sorrell? Jake Sorrell was out long ago, so don't know what happened there. But we do have the safety car out. And this is really going to mix up because, I mean, safety car's only just come out. Dylan Platt's got to catch up to it. He's actually in the pits. So Dylan Platt has now gone into the pits on the safety car. He's got plenty of time. He's a minute ahead of everyone else. He's gone on to a set of softs. He's gone to a set of softs. Okay, 15 laps, 17 laps remaining.
Wow, that's really
17 laps remaining. Yeah, but he's got at least 3 of those on the safety car.
Yeah, that's true. That's a good call, actually, yeah.
Yeah, and he's just catching up to the safety. So Dylan Platt catches up to the safety car between 2 and 3. So the safety car will be coming in at the end of lap 36.
Yeah, he's going to get to the end of it.
Hopefully it'll be lap 35, but I'm pretty sure it'll be the end of lap 36. So yeah, this has really opened it up once again. Okay, so let's have a look at where we are.
White's going in the pits.
Yeah, I think there's going to be a few that are going to go in there. So Dylan Platt leads the way at this moment in time. His teammate Callum White just coming into the pits. He's still in P2. P3 we have Ryan Lear in the Haas. P4 we have Sean Street also in the pits at this moment, currently P4. Thomas Cook for Alfa Romeo, although he is in the Mercedes, he's just coming out of the pits. He's currently at P6. P7 is Ross Milburn in the Racing Point. He's Still out on track, so he's currently P7. P8 is Lee Pratt in the Ferrari. He's into the pits as well. What's he going for? New nose and a set of softs. Okay, so he's there. Cameron Widdowson. He's out there at the moment. Has he? No, he hasn't come in. He's behind Dylan Platt at this moment in time. He's in P9. P10 is Tony Foster in the McLaren. Just in the points, and would expect him to stay within the points. And he's got Jack Wilson in the Renault in P11 at the moment, just outside the points. So Jack, I think we're going to see a fight between Jack and Tony, because they are wanting to pick up at least one championship point this evening. So very interesting indeed.
We're not yet on the sub 10.
We're not yet. We're not yet. I've got to say, that's pretty good going, to be fair.
Yeah.
That said, though, Guido, we've got 16 laps remaining.
I don't know.
Anything can happen. We've seen now 3 safety cars and 2 VSCs, and this is beautiful because the pack is really going to be closing up. Hopefully in time. From a viewer's
perspective, that's wicked.
Hopefully
it's going to be close racing again.
Because I still think we have a full safety car lap to go, which should give the guys time to close up and get into their respective positions. Guido, what are the rules here on the safety car? Obviously, a lot of cars out of position. If you close in on a car that's obviously behind you, I guess you can overtake them on the safety car, can't you?
No, you cannot overtake unless you're a back marker. And in that case, the safety car or the safety car situation will show you when you can overtake.
Yeah, you can't overtake the safety car. I understand that, unless under those good. But if you're in the train of drivers, because at this moment we've got Dylan Platt in P1, and behind him is Cameron Widdowson, who's in P9. If Callum White comes through the field, he can still take that position back, can't he?
That's a good question. That is a good question.
I'm pretty sure you can. I don't see why you shouldn't. Because you're just getting yourself back into your position. Because that's what you need to be.
Yeah. Well, it's going to show, and it's going to tell you if you can. But I don't. I've never had this situation in that form before. I had it as a back marker, and then you can overtake everybody, and then.
And you can even overtake the safety car as well.
Yeah.
But in this situation, because as I say, at the moment, Dylan Platt is in first. He's got the Williams behind him of Cameron Widdowson. So they're going to have to assume their places again. I don't know. We'll see.
That's weird. They should be in their spots.
Well, Callum White is behind Jack Wilson at this moment in time. Jack Wilson is P11.
That then?
Well, that's what I'm saying. They've got to basically get past the drivers before the safety car comes in. That's their places at this moment in time under safety car. But once the safety car comes in, then those places all change around because that's not where they are. So they need to get into their places, surely. Yeah, you can see the Alfa Romeo Thomas Cook trying to edge forward. That's going to be, we'll soon find out. Let's put it like this. We are on lap 36. This is F1 tonight. UK Season 2. Round 4 here at Azerbaijan in the fair city. This eastern paradise of Baku. Great introduction to the calendar. What is it, about 4 seasons ago now, I think, isn't it? Baku? 5 seasons? 4 seasons. In the real world, certainly a great calendar event. I've got to say, one of my favourite tracks, not only from a driving point of view, but also from a commentary point of view, because you can be pretty assured of an awful lot going on at this track, can't you, Guido?
Yeah. In the real world, Red Bulls kissing each other in the back, DNFing. What happened more of that race? It was BigBadBudah is driving over debris while he was in P1.
Yeah, this is great. Oh, I love this overhead shot. I'm going to try and stick with this for as long as I can. Great shot here as they're coming out of 12, 13, 14, and then down into 15. You can see Dylan there looking to try and get as much heat as he can. Oh, sorry, that's not Dylan. Yeah, it's Chris Knight I'm on board with, but who's that? Yeah, it was Dylan. Safety car will be in. Dylan Platt will be dictating the start of this race. Callum White, Cameron Widdowson is the man that's behind him.
Sean Street, severe collision, 5-second time penalty.
Yeah, I think Sean Street's gone into the back of someone, probably Chris Knight. So Dylan Platt getting ready to wind these guys up now. And he's going for it out there. He opens up just as he's coming into turn 20. Cameron Widdowson is not in P2 because he's behind Jack Wilson. I'm sorry, Callum White is behind Jack Wilson, but he's still showing us P2. I really don't get this. This is crazy.
There's something wrong with the game because
this is absolutely crazy. Cameron Widdowson is currently in 2. Callum White is looking to make a move. Callum White gets past him. Lee Pratt retired from the session. So what's happened there?
Ferrari's out.
Ferrari is out. Where was it though? That's the question.
Yes, Callum Widdowson.
I think that was maybe out of 2, out of 1 or 2 actually. We are on board at the moment with Cameron Widdowson. Jack Wilson just getting past him and past both of them. Ross Milburn.
Tony Foster. Ignoring the blue flag, 5-second time penalty.
Yeah, seen that. So really don't know where I think Lee Pratt lost it right at the start actually on the out of turn 1 or turn 2. Safety car again. We've got safety car again, Guido.
Yeah.
That's 4 safety cars.
The thing where we went wrong probably is because they are back markers. So Callum White was actually in 7th, behind, who was it, Sean Street?
No, he was behind Cameron Widdowson. Callum White was behind Cameron Widdowson.
Because you see now, you see blue flags coming, so they were probably back markers. But they didn't get to overtake while on the safety car. So that's oh shit! Tony Foster lost his wings.
Let's have a look. Yeah, he has. Major collision. Yeah, he's lost his complete nose there. So, well, his front wings, both wings gone. He's going to have to come in and pit. Lee Pratt, though, has gone out, and it was, I'm pretty sure, on that turn 1-2. Let's have a look here, see if we can see anything when they come past.
Tony Foster again, 5-second time penalty, speeding in the pit lane. Oh, unbelievable.
Yeah, Tony's game is gone. And yeah, definitely Lee Pratt lost it out of 2 by the looks of it. May have gone straight into the wall, and that is the Ferrari hopes dashed. Absolutely dashed, but a great opportunity for Red Bull. I mean, this is phenomenal, Guido. Yeah. I mean, you know, Ferrari leading the way as they were at the moment, 1-2 for Phil Harris and Lee Pratt. Leading the way in the championship, 103 points. No points to take home this evening, and 4 championship points for Red Bull.
Yeah.
I mean, this is really going to turn it around.
Well, it's just as we said in the beginning, the season is still early. It's anything can happen, you know. Oh no, Ross Milburn hit the wall of the castle on a safety car.
Yeah, and he's lost his front right end plate.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, front right end plate. So that's what he's lost. And what a crying shame, because he's really worked hard to come back. He's up into P3. You know,
he was playing around a bit with Callum White. He was overtaking and letting it go, overtaking and letting it go. Well, in a situation with a safety car, you cannot overtake. So it shows you that you have to get placed back within a few seconds. So he's just playing around a bit, and it cost him because he hit the barrier.
Yeah, not fully concentrating on what's happening. Safety car will be coming in at the end of, well, when did they catch it up? Lap 39, I suspect, so the end of lap 39.
No, maybe 40 even, because they just got the safety car this
oh, it'll be the end of lap 40 then. Yeah, it should be the end of lap 40. Hopefully it'll be 39, but it'll probably be 40. Dylan Platt leads the way. Why have I got Ross? Oh, there we go. Yeah, they're all coming in. So, yes, Ross Milburn coming in. So, Dylan Platt leads the way. Callum White in second. Thomas Cook is in third. Chris Knight is fourth. So, good points at the moment as it stands for Alfa Romeo with both Thomas Cook and Chris Knight 3 and 4. Ross Milburn is in the pits at the moment. Ryan Leah in the pits. Sean Street is out on track. He may take that P6 actually from Ross Milburn. Cameron Widdowson currently 8, Jack Wilson 9, and Tony Foster in the points in 10. But this race has not gone as Tony would like, but he's still in the points, so he's a survivor, is our Tony. Lee Pratt for Ferrari, DNF. Jake Sorrell for Racing Point, DNF. Phil Harris for Ferrari, DNF. Ryan Doran for Haas, DNF. Jamie Good for Toro Rosso, DNF. Josh Diggles for Williams, DNF. And Adrian Rich for Renault, DNF. We have our victims claimed, 7 by their names. 10 remaining and 12 laps remaining of this race. We are currently under safety car conditions. The final 11 laps. Keep your fingers crossed that it's going to be clean racing. 4 safety cars, 3 VSCs during the course of this race. We knew it was going to be a tough race. We knew it was going to claim its victims, and it has. But Dylan Platt, Callum White survived. They are 1-2. Thomas Cook for Alfa Romeo, although he is in a Mercedes this evening. Don't ask. He's in P3. His teammate Chris Knight is in P4. Ryan Leah for Haas is P5. Ross Milburn for Racing Point is in P6. Sean Street for McLaren is 7. Cameron Widdowson for Williams is 8. Jack Wilson for Renault is 9. Tony Foster for McLaren bringing up the rear in 10. The cars are being backed up. And Dylan's backing them up early, isn't he?
Yeah, here we go. Here we go again.
He's backing them up early. I reckon he's going to go out at 19. He's backing them up that early.
He's not going. He's not going.
It's 19. He's coming round now.
Yeah, he's gone. He's gone.
He's sprinting away now. Jack Wilson picks up a 5-second penalty for a collision on the start there. Went into the back of Cameron Widdowson, I suspect.
Did he lose his
We are racing, 11 laps remaining for this F1 tonight. UK, Azerbaijan Grand Prix. Oh, Carnage in the background. Who was that?
That was Jack Wilson. He's got no nose.
Oh, Jack Wilson has lost his nose completely there.
I don't think he had a nose to begin with to go into that corner, because he had that severe collision.
Yeah.
So
and he's
oh no!
Well, what can he do?
Jack Wilson.
What can he do? Tony Foster. I think he just wasn't expecting him to break there. He had no idea. And Tony Foster has now picked up damage on his front right. He's lost the end plate and the winglet. But that's the sort of thing that occurs, though, isn't it? Because you've got the car in front, no control. He doesn't go where you expect him to go. All too easy to go in the back of him when you're bunched up like this.
Yeah. Yeah, you have no idea. You think that the guy in front of you is gonna push it as hard as you want it to push. Jack Wilson is making an overtaking. Oh no! Of course you're gonna hit the barrier there. Why are you gonna make the decision to overtake when you got no wing?
And he's pushing. He's trying to get his way through. He's pushing it. And I've got to say, on this next set of corners, I would not push it. But Let's go on board. Let's see what happens. Oh, he clips the wall there. I was expecting to get a shot to see him flying off the other way. He gets through. God knows how. He does get through. He's still got to get into the pit, though, safely. Oh, that is a man who is determined to get back on track as quickly as he possibly can, and contact with Cameron Widdowson and Chris Knight.
Chris Widdowson.
Yeah, and
Jack Wilson in.
Cameron Widdowson alongside Tony Foster. Sorry, not Tony Foster. Tony Foster's in the pits. Cameron Widdowson alongside his teammate, Sean Street. Chris Knight is in as well. Sean Street is out on track.
And Jack Wilson got the spot because his team was faster.
Yeah, he did get out ahead of Tony Foster. So Tony Foster's going to need to fight back now. Dylan Platt leads the way. He's got Cameron Widdowson, though, very close up. 1.6 seconds off the back of him. You say close up, I mean, he's the closest anyone's got so far this evening. Thomas Cook in the Mercedes, although... Yeah, Sean Street with Ross Milburn here as they're coming around 13 and 14. Oh, and he's done it! Oh, Ross Milburn makes contact with the wall there. Still okay, no damage. Oh, no!
What was that?
What was that indeed? Ross Milburn pans it into turn 15. Be interesting to see what happens on that one. Ryan Lear coming round now. So Ross Milburn, we've got a yellow flag. Are we going to see another safety car, Guido? Or VSC? No, we're not.
No, it's not. It's gone.
It's gone.
It's gone already. And another one.
We've got one in sector 3. So not too sure. So this will tighten up once the guys get past. We are now down to 9 drivers remaining. I said we were going to go sub 10. We've got 9 laps remaining of this race. Dylan Platt leading the way. Callum White, his teammate, is in 2nd place. 3rd place is Thomas Cook for Alfa Romeo. Oh, where's Thomas Cook gone? There we go.
P3?
I can see. That's right. I was looking for the wrong colour. Short Street. Yeah. Short Street is in 4. Chris Knight, Alfa Romeo teammate to Thomas Cook, he's in 5. So good points for Alfa Romeo as well this evening. Yeah. Ryan Lear for Haas is currently in P6. Jack Wilson in Renault. Well, he looked like he was out of the points, but he's up into P7, or he will be very soon for Renault. P9 is Tony Foster for McLaren. Sorry, P8 is Tony Foster for McLaren.
Thomas Cook spun. Oh no!
He spun on 15. So he spun into 15.
Let me see his wing. No, his wings are
He's got
complete.
no damage, so he just spun the car as he was coming into 15. We missed that, unfortunately, but he's...
Sean Street into 3.
Yeah, so Sean Street has now moved up into P3. Thomas Cook just composing himself there. Sean Street is now up into P3, so Sean Street for McLaren is now up into P3. There are only 8 laps remaining. What can he do? Oh, Sean Street, he's already on 5. He should go. He should be okay on these, so I don't envisage a problem. Callum White should be okay. Dylan Platt should be okay. So, I mean, these guys are going to the end on these sets of tyres. Thomas Cook now has got his work cut out for him. He's 4.4 seconds off the back of Sean Street. He's going to have to put some work in now, isn't he?
Yeah. He's going to have to push it really hard. Really, really hard. Oh.
But, you know, does he settle for 4? I mean, team points. His teammate Chris Knight is in P5, so good points will be had.
Yeah, good points.
For Alfa Romeo this evening, as long as they maintain those places.
Yeah.
Well, as I say, 8 laps remaining, all to go for. Good news, everybody in the points. So at least there is that. But what is going to happen, and anything can happen. I mean, I've lost count. How many safety cars? 4? 5? 4 at least. 4. It was 4.
5?
No, I think it was 4. 4 safety cars and 3 VSCs. We are on board with Dylan Platt. Let's actually stay on board with him for a whole lap. Let's do a quick circuit here. Come down to turn 1. Tight in on the left. Watch your exit as you're coming out on the barrier on the right-hand side. Straighten up. Get on the right-hand side for you coming into turn 2. Hit that apex on the left. Go out. Watch the barrier. Nice. DRS if you had it. He hasn't. Obviously no one ahead of him. Open it up. Coming down to turn 3. Watch it. It's going to be high brake. Turn in left. Hit the apex. Watch the exit. Don't get put off by the high buildings. Coming down, right-hander at turn 4 now. Go left, straighten her up on the right-hand side in preparation, coming into the double chicane 5-6. Nicely done. Watch your exit over the curbs there. Don't want to ride those too high. Straighten up down to 7. Then you're going to be looking to cut in deep right into turn 7. Nicely done there. Into the castle section. Round 8, 9, 10. 11, left hand 12, go tight, go out wide, watch your exit, lay down the power, is it coming down round 13, round 14, get ready, brake, 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 right, left, down into 15, coming into 16, third and final sector, watch your exit, line it up, round 17. Line it up on the exit of 18 for 90. Get ready, cut in right for turn 20. Straighten her up. On the start, finish straight. What can he do? It'd be great if it was the fastest lap, gotta say. Not quite, but a full lap there from Dylan Platt. That's how you do it. And I'm sure the drivers behind equally performing as well there at this moment in time. He is 2.8 seconds ahead of his teammate, Callum White, in second place. Third place is Sean Street in the McLaren. Well, I mean, we weren't expecting that, but kudos to Sean Street, I have to say there, Guido.
Sean Street's gonna... He's getting a positive vibe from this one. Yeah. He's really getting up there.
Yeah, definitely.
I have a sneaking suspicion. I got him on a list today. I'm not gonna.
Well, he's definitely a more than competent driver. I've got to say, Sean Street. He's done 19 Grand Prix, 95% attendance, 2 podiums, 134 points, 6 DNFs. Current form, season 1, position 6. Objective, beat his rival teammate. So
he's basically a clean driver today. He only got the 5-second time penalty because of the thing we saw. You know, he drove against a standing car, which he cannot avoid.
Yeah. Well, he started at the back. Remember, he had the penalty, as you say, to that was awarded effectively for. Purposely DNFing, so it's a back start. So he's done well to come from the back of the grid, but a great result for him. And yeah, I think it's going to brighten him up certainly. Thomas Cook, he's in P4 as it stands. Sean Street, has he got a clean slate as well for this race, Guido?
Sorry.
Has he got a clean slate for this race?
Yes. Yeah. Well, yes. Basically, penalty points wise, you mean? He's got. He's only got the 5-second. Let me see. Sean Street has a 5-second time penalty. That's the only one.
So he's got a 5-second time penalty. Thomas Cook is the P4 at the moment for Alfa Romeo.
Thomas Cook has. Yeah, he's clean as well.
So he's clean, so he's got, so that means if Sean Street's got a 5-second penalty still to apply a time penalty, that means that Thomas Cook is actually ahead of him by about 2.5 seconds then. So Thomas Cook is looking for a podium in these closing 5 laps of the race, but it all depends on that gap to Sean Street. He needs to, if anything, close it down. He certainly doesn't want it to get any wider, just in case he has any issue on track.
Yeah.
So Thomas Cook, he's still got a fight in his hand, and he could potentially be looking at a P3 finish. So we'll keep an eye on that one. His teammate Chris Knight is currently in P5, looking to get past back marker there of Jack Wilson, but he's currently in P5. Ryan Leah for Haas is in P6, and again, good show from him, stayed in there. Jack Wilson for Renault is 7. 8 is Sean Street's teammate, Tony Foster. So again, good points for McLaren if they finish in this order to be picked up. And bringing up P9 is Cameron Widdowson in the Williams.
Yeah, it looks like it's settling down a bit for everybody, so they're driving their own race now.
Yeah, it is. I mean, we've had so much going on in this race. You know, I was hoping we were going to have a little bit more of a battle going in these closing laps, but we've got 4 laps remaining. But as you say, Guido, I mean, the gap looks pretty set at this moment in time. I think we need another safety car. What do you think?
Another safety car, yeah. Somebody smashing the barrier just for the fun of it.
Yeah. Well, we've seen that, I think.
Well, I tend to think, yeah. Really.
But anyway, we will see. So Dylan Platt leads the way, and as I say, some really valuable championship points to be picked up for them this evening. 103 points is the current standing.
Oh no! Thomas Cook hit the barrier within the castle area.
Oh my goodness, I'm with Chris Knight at the moment. He's just coming round turn 3-4. And Thomas Cook is indeed out. We've got a yellow flag in sector 2. The commentator's curse has come alive.
Oh, yes, what you wished for.
Yeah, I know. Tell me about it.
Did I say that? Hit the barrier, yeah, I said that. Oh.
Yeah. We're on board with Jack Wilson, actually. He's the first car to reach where Thomas Cook is. Yeah, it was green. Yeah, it was through the castle section. It is now green.
I was on board with him. I saw that happen.
Well, we
he
called
was
that.
going in so tight, and he hit the second part of that castle area.
But no safety car, so safety car has been disabled. That's 2 incidents with safety car that haven't happened now. And clearly there's something here on the programming with regards to that. So I get a feeling that 4 safety cars may be the limit.
Yeah, would there be a limit to this?
I have no idea. Oh, you wouldn't have thought so.
You got a car in the middle of the section of where nobody can drive next to it, and it just all of a sudden disappears.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's true. But there you go. Such is life. I would have loved to have seen another safety car, I've got to say, but unfortunately we haven't. But we have seen another DNF, and that was from Thomas Cook.
3 laps left.
3 laps are remaining. Thomas Cook was doing so well. Was looking good there. Calm down, Guido. Calm down. Watch your blood pressure. I guess that was Tony Foster because he loves a power slide, as our Tony. Jack Wilson is into P6. P5, Ryan Leah. 4, Chris Knight. 3, Sean Street. 2, Callum White. And 1, Dylan Platt. And Dylan's just settled down. He hasn't really opened up a major gap to his teammate there. But he's done well. It's 5.5 seconds, but he doesn't look like he's really going for it. We haven't seen any fastest laps as yet. I don't know who's holding the fastest lap. Who's holding the fastest lap at the moment, Guido?
I'm going to look for that.
Why don't you do that? We are on board at the moment with Cameron Widdowson. He will be assuming that P8 position very shortly once he unlaps himself from Thomas Cook, who went out in the castle section, that infamous castle section. It has claimed its victims in the past, and hardly surprising. I mean, these guys now on the final closing laps. They've done 49 laps of this track. And believe you me, if you watch that stream from Lando Norris, did a half race, and his back was hurting, and he was sweating, and he's a professional driver. Imagine what these guys go through. So, yeah, kudos to them. This is a very, very tough track. Dylan Platt really riding the curve out of into 15 there. His car taking off somewhat. Don't know if he needs to be pushing that hard. So Dylan Platt in P1 position. Let's actually go in reverse order. We've got 2 laps remaining. So Cameron Widdowson for Williams is in P8. In P7 is Tony Foster for McLaren. In P6 is Jack Wilson for Renault. In P5 is Ryan Lear for Haas. In P4 is Chris Knight for Sauber. Sauber were looking so good to get some good points there, but unfortunately Thomas Cook went out a couple of laps ago. So the remaining Sauber there saving the day, and that's Chris Knight in P4. Sean Street is in P3. Actually, let's have a quick look here, because Sean started from the back. I just want to have a quick look at position change there. 13 places, but Callum White, 10 places, Guido. I mean, I don't know, which one of those guys has the cleanest records? I don't know if Callum White has got any points, or Sean Street, because they're pretty close to one another.
Yeah, well, the fastest lap is Dylan. And Callum has not got a clean slate, as you say.
How many penalties has he got? Because that could come into play.
1, 2, 3, 4. He's got a 5-second time penalty. He's got 3 other time penalties. It doesn't say how much time it is. So I think.
Well, they're normally 3 seconds each, so he's gonna have 14 seconds or thereabouts added to his time. That means he will actually lose that second place, and it will go to Sean Street, and Sean Street would have gone up 14 places. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, kudos to Sean Street, got to say. So we are on lap 51. We will join our race leader, Dylan Platt, go on board for him. And I've got to say, Guido, Dylan has driven an absolutely faultless race, hasn't he?
Yeah. How do you say that? Immaculate race?
Yeah, absolutely fantastic. I mean, he was under pressure from Lee Pratt. I mean, Lee Pratt was, I say under pressure, I mean, he was closing down on him. It was still, I think, about good 3.5 to 4 seconds behind. And then unfortunately, not Lee Pratt, sorry, Phil Harris, I do apologise, Phil. Phil Harris was really trying to close down on him, but there was still a good gap to them. He was in that second place. Unfortunately, had that incident and DNF'd. It opened it up, obviously, for Dylan, but irrespective of that, Dylan's been leading from the start here, and it's been an absolutely, as you say, an immaculate race from him. It really has.
Yeah, yes, and he's known for everything you've seen so far. He's one of those drivers that is capable of doing those things.
Yeah.
And he finally did it here in this race and got P1.
Yeah, indeed. Dylan Platt now coming into the third and final sector. And he's taking his time. Oh, sector 2, sector 3, yellow flag. What's going on? Oh, he's letting, I think he's letting Cameron Widdowson basically get past him and unlap himself. That was a good gesture there, but then again, he's got the time to do it, I guess. He's got his teammate Callum White buried down him, but he's got quite a number of time penalties. So, as we say there, Dylan Platt will take first place. Great race for him. Callum White does not take second. He will get third. I'm sure Sean Street will actually get second place. Let's have a look here. Yes, he does. So Sean Street gets second place, and Callum White for Red Bull gets third place. But still, good points there for Team Red Bull, and this is really going to help them from a driver's standing, but also from a team standing as well. So great result.
Great points for the Red Bull.
Definitely.
Great points.
I'm not going to work it out now, but yeah, we'll see that once the standings are done. Chris Knight for Alfa Romeo will take that P4 position. And let's see him come across the line there. Looks like Jack Wilson currently finishing P6. Chris Knight, as I said, P4. Ryan Lear for Haas coming round now. He's going to be taking P5, Jack Wilson P6, Tony Foster P7, and Cameron Widdowson will be finishing in P8. Well, great race, Guido, got to say, but now's the time for us to look at that driver of the day. We've had a little conflab, and I think we're pretty much agreed on Mr. Street, I think.
Yeah, definitely. I think he did an awesome race, coming from the back. The 5-second time penalty that the game gave him.
Yeah, it was
I don't agree with that, but that's one of those things you've got to take it
on the chin, basically.
Yeah, because you can't change that. It's,
Yeah.
And I think he's rightfully the DOTD.
Yeah, indefinitely. Driver of the day, Sean Street, taking that second place. But the win goes to Dylan Platt as they come onto the podium. Dylan Platt takes the win here at Baku for the Azerbaijan Grand Prix Season 2, Round 4 of F1 tonight. UK. Sean Street, as I say there, in third place, second place taking driver of the day. Keep his name tag up there for that. And we are done, Guido, just in time because my voice is just going. Let's quickly go back there, actually have a look at this. So Dylan Platt there, clean. Sean Street, clean as well. Callum White, though, 4 penalty points, 14 seconds. Clean as well for Chris Knight, and those 14 seconds were added on at the end of the race to his race time, which is why he went from P2 to P3. Other than that, not too bad. Obviously, quite a number of DNFs, though.
Just a few.
Yeah, just a few. So 8 total DNFs. 9 total DNFs with 8 drivers remaining. We are going to sign off now. We will be back next week for the Spanish Grand Prix. The circuit de Catalunya. You looking forward to that one, Guido?
Yeah, that's a good circuit. I like that.
And this Thursday, don't forget F1 tonight, Netherlands will be racing Thursday evening, 7:30 UK time, 8:30 Central European time. Your commentators for that evening will be Daniel Hazard and Adrian Stats Rich. So don't forget to tune in to them Thursday evening. We're back next Tuesday. From me, it's a good night to everybody and be safe.
For me, it's a good night as well. Bye-bye, everybody.
Take care, everyone.